hell is going on here?
Shock Therapy Radio.
It's the Healing Games version today of Shock Therapy Radio. This is going to be an interesting one. A lot of people are not even sure if they believe in healing. I do.
I do.
And we're going to give you some examples of why that's true. I could not sleep worth a shit last night. I ended up watching Sexually Educated, of course, is in here every Wednesday night from 8 to 9.
Perfect.
They do a live recording.
Bright side.
12:30, 1 o'clock, I'm like watching their show just to try and, ramp down and get to sleep.
Was it good?
Yeah, they did a good job. They're always very entertaining. They've been with us now for a couple months. They're always very entertaining. They also have a flair with their words and a whole different topic of being sexually educated. Mm-hmm. And, they're good. They had Heidi from Frisky Business was a guest featuring one of the toys that they sell down there at Risky Business.
Is it clean?
Which toy?
It was clean because it just came out of the package.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Smell of plastic.
I know Mike's concerned from an OSHA standpoint. If safety first.
The smell of fresh.
Long before
phallic
sex.
plastic.
Long before sex is safety, right?
See the bright side of you not being able to sleep.
Right.
You got to see the show.
Yeah, I did. I got to see the show. It's true. So we are going to jump into, as a matter of fact, Richard, let's go. I want to do a quick recap from yesterday. I saw a very funny video that I'm sure you've already seen, but if you haven't, you'll thank us. It's Bill Nye saying fuck. It's worth it just right there.
Bill, he swears?
Yeah, watch this.
The universe. For centuries, humankind has strived to understand this vast expanse of energy, gas, and dust. In recent years, a stunning breakthrough has been made in our concept of what the universe is for.
So I was texting while I was driving, and I ended up taking a wrong turn that took me directly past a vitamin shop. And I was just like, this is totally the universe telling me I should be taking calcium.
Oh my God.
Right?
Universe.
Scientists once believed the universe was a chaotic collection of matter. We now know the universe is essentially a force, sending cosmic guidance to white women in their 20s.
So you know how I've been fucking my married boss for like 6 months? Well, I was starting to get really worried he was never gonna leave his wife. But then yesterday in yoga, the girl in front of me was wearing a shirt that just said, chill. And I was just like, this is so the universe telling me, girl, just like keep fucking your married boss, right?
Try to imagine the universe as a giant dream board on which women pin their wishes.
I have been looking everywhere for an apricot puggle, and they're like almost impossible to find. I just decided I'm gonna just put it out into the universe, and if it was meant to be, it will manifest itself, you know?
The universe is totally gonna bring you an apricot puggle. Like last year when I left my job to start a mitten company, I put my dream out into the universe by making a mitten Pinterest page.
I am dying to buy mittens from you.
Yeah, so I haven't started making them yet, but I would love to stay with you until things pick up.
The universe, I'm not thinking, doesn't.
How hard could it be to make just one mitten? They don't even have fingers. Did you know that in our galaxy alone, there are over 500 million planets capable of supporting life? And that sometimes the universe creates a coincidence just so a publicist at Aeropostale will have a realization?
So I was like totally trying to watch this episode of New Girl, but it was preempted by this news coverage of this terrible cyclone where like everybody died. It was so annoying. Then I just thought, like, this is the universe's way of telling me, you watch New Girl on Hulu anyway. Don't pay for cable, save your money for in-app purchases.
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit. Fuck. Oh my.
Yeah, so we thought you'd enjoy that. We had quite a diatribe on the universe yesterday, and so, of course, Bill Nye is going to take the apologetic side of that. But I thought that was funny. I just happened to see that, and I thought we got to get that on just to recap the show from yesterday. We'll probably have a little bit of universe going on today anyways, because we've got Chris from The Looking Glass coming in at 10:30, supposed to. And he, of course, represents a lot of the ideology that we were talking about yesterday. So we're going to talk to him specifically about healing today, though, because the show today is the Healing Games Twist and Shout.
I've been informed, no crystal jokes from me.
Yeah, we'll just leave
Right.
crystals alone
Leave
for
them
the
alone
for the day
day.
today.
Yes.
For the broadcast day, we'll leave crystals
Yes.
alone. As soon as we're done with the broadcast day, we'll go right back to
I'm
our
slamming
crystals.
the shit out of
Yeah, it's a profitable business, actually. Yeah. Selling crystal. Is that the same thing as meth, or is that different? No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a professional. I'm not an expert on either one, so I don't know.
Be a good way to hide it.
Indeed.
That's
so
a crystal, I swear to God.
why do some people get healed and others just feel like a heel for asking?
Nah.
It's a
Homonym.
big question, and a lot of people want to know too, because it seems like a very small percentage of people who have experienced this healing phenomena, right? And if there are, we know that there is just enormous need in the universe, on the planet, for healing, whether it's physical or mental or just, what have you, just some sort of redemption that people are looking for. I think people are starting to wonder, what does it take to participate in this? Why do some people seem to go up, have the hands placed, fall over perhaps, and then they're healed, and others don't?
Well, the brain is very powerful, we know, as far as our general state of health.
Right.
And it's not been completely figured out.
That's for damn sure.
Faith is a
Is this a God works in mysterious ways bullshit
no.
thing? Okay.
Faith is it's a mechanism. It's a
Okay.
mechanism that you can use. But
I see.
let's face it. I mean, some people, like you said, will have cancer and they have faith and they get better, and some people have faith and they're great and they don't.
And they die.
So what's
They
that?
die a miserable, sad
What
death
does that
by
mean?
themselves. Yeah. Well, that's what we're going to try and delve into today. As a matter of fact, we're going to figure out some of the meaning behind that. We want to know, quite frankly, whom God considers worthy of healing, and whom basically are just going to go directly to hell. Do not collect $200. This is the Healing Game Twist and Shout version. We'll either be healed today. I think there's probably something that each one of us would say we could use some healing from.
Sure.
I'll be the first to say that's true.
Absolutely.
So we'll either be healed today, or we will just be twisted fucks trying to get healed. Okay, by end of the broadcast day, we're going to be healed, or we'll just be all twisted up trying. Okay,
I may
of the
sprain
two.
my knee.
Yeah, it could happen.
I'm double jointed, so it's all good.
Oh, neat.
I think we just found our winner already, but we'll go through the emotions anyways. All right, so in the third hour, we're going to show you just how flexible we can be for healing. When healing is on the line, we can be very, very flexible. We're going to show you that in the third hour. That'll be pretty fun. And we're also going to let you know why we think we three are worthy of healing. We will talk about why we, in particular,
Yes.
if healing is the case, why we ought to be eligible for the program.
Mm-hmm.
So does healing really happen? I want to start this one off. There is something called suicide disease, and when I saw the title, I thought, oh, this is something to do with suicide, and somebody is going to be healed of their suicidal thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to be very pissed off if that was true, because I from my experience, it's something that I deal with every day, and it's not fair if somebody gets healed of that. But suicide disease actually is almost like a lightning kind of thing that goes through your head. Have you heard of this before?
No.
Okay, it goes through your head, and it's like a lightning bolt that shoots through your senses and just kind of affects your whole face, just radiates such pain. It's not even a migraine. It's actually a whole different class. And it is excruciating, such that you'll see from this video coming that the female that has gone through this for many, many years, if not decades, had to be in total darkness. I mean, when bulbs went out, she said, they wouldn't replace them because she needed it to be completely dark. There was such a hypersensitivity to light, that would just create another one of these rounds of kind of lightning going through her head. Without further ado, let's. And the point of this video, by the way, is I want to ask you ahead of time: do you believe this or not?
Pardon me there, Kurt.
Yes.
I would need a few minutes still. We are waiting on the conversion,
Oh,
but it
very
is
good.
just about finished.
Very good. So the question we'll ask then is whether you believe this, okay? And we're going to reserve judgment until we have a chance to take a look at it. What do you think? Couple minutes, Richard, or? Yeah, a couple minutes. Okay.
I'm going to say right now, because I've not heard of this,
I'll let you know just as
do
soon
I
as it's
believe
done.
this? I
Okay.
don't know, like the fibromyalgia.
Oh, fibromyalgia, yeah.
Is that real?
Yeah, I would say it's real. I've known somebody. I
Kinda-
was in
Yeah.
relationship with somebody that had that. Yeah.
Because there was a lot of debate about that for a while. People said, no, I really do have
When
it. Then it
you're-
was, no, you really don't have
When
it.
your
No,
nervous system is fucked, it's just fucked. I mean, it can it's electrical impulse, obviously,
Right.
and when that electricity goes sour, it
Right.
I believe it. I think it can be. I mean, I'm not going to be a fibromyalgia denier, anyways. I mean, any diagnosis is really not for us to pull apart. Although a lot of people do. This person's ex-wife, or ex-husband, as a matter of fact, had always made fun and said, "Oh, that's not real." And a lot of people do that,
Sure.
but they do that about mental health too. So I'm pretty used to that.
The best lawyer I've ever known, he had fibromyalgia.
Yeah, it is real. It's fucking real.
It's like he was in so much pain, so he got to the point of everything. He was pissed off all the time.
Yeah, it is. It just fucks with your whole life. There's so many different chronic illnesses and diseases that just totally fuck with your quality of life, if not your function, so your mobility, what have you.
What is this? A suicide beam?
This is
It's
called
like
the
a
suicide
beam?
disease.
Oh, this is what it's like a ray beam.
In quotes, because the
Yeah.
reason they call it that is because the pain is so bad going through their heads and into their faces.
Ow. And
that
radiate, and the
they-
face radiates it.
Yeah.
It can be measured.
Yeah, absolutely. Behind the eyes, she said down to her the top of her cheeks. It was just like being pierced, literally. And so people commit suicide, and that's what the disease is known for.
Oh,
it causes
okay,
people
okay.
to say the pain
Had
is so
enough.
great. I've had enough. I'm out.
Yeah.
That's why they call it the suicide disease. So I had to get a quick education on what that meant, because suicide to me means something entirely different. But still, that's so. I just want to set the framework here for how bad this pain is for this individual, and then what she claims in this religious. It is a religious experience.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it comes off of CBN, of course. Christian Broadcast Network. We're getting some good material from that show.
Yes.
God bless you, because we are
Thank
having
you.
such good luck with material off of your show. So so it begs the question, is this real? I mean, we always have to ask that, whenever
Yeah.
we're, dealing with anything out of the religious arena. But some of it is, perhaps. I don't. We're going to take a look here in hopefully just a few moments.
And can you
Very-
be
very
faith healed?
close.
Can you be healed from it?
That's what this is all about. Yeah, I mean, this is most definitely. There are no doctors present in this presentation. In fact, they start kind of poo-pooing the doctors. Yes, they do. They poo-poo the doctors because the doctors just haven't been able to accomplish anything, and so now they're at wit's end and looking for
Standing around in their
faith
white
healing.
coats with their stethoscopes, scratching their heads.
Yeah, even Bill Nye couldn't weigh in
I
on
couldn't-
this
when he said,
suicide
"Fuck,"
disease.
it was disturbing.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
remember when I was a kid, he was dressed up in the outfit, the Bill Nye, the science
Oh,
guy.
absolutely, yeah.
But now he's kind of been thrust to the forefront as well,
Yeah.
as a spokesperson for climate change.
Oh, sure.
And some other things.
Yeah, that's an industry that I guess begs the colorful language. It's getting heated.
Oh,
really, literally getting heated right now.
Absolutely, it's becoming a cultural dividing point.
Yeah, it is,
without
yeah.
a doubt.
Yep. Used to be the things like the rich and the poor, where they had health care or not. That stuff doesn't matter. Now it's entirely about will we exist beyond 2030 or whatever the projections
Arguing
are.
over water levels.
Yeah.
Things
Well,
like
I think in the West they're arguing whether they get water or
Yes.
not.
Yes.
How
Bill
can they
Nye.
tell if they have this suicide?
Well, I guess it's symptomatic as with
Radiating
with
face.
most. Yeah, if your
I didn't
face
know
is
if
Unusual
they could
dreams.
Yeah.
Scan the burn, give
They
it,
do,
that's good.
yes, they do MMRs or whatever. They do that, yes, but I think it's mostly just like many other things to do with the brain. It's all symptom driven.
Yes.
We really can't know. We don't know the
Anxiety, depression.
brain. Yeah.
Well, but I had heard, I don't know if this is true, maybe you could tell me, because I had heard that you could even have a CAT scan with someone who's bipolar and see a difference.
I think that there is some technology that nobody can afford and that no insurance company pays for. I think that it does exist, or at least there's is it the color map that kind of shows either low or high brain activity, and I think there is a way to do that that nobody can afford.
Kanye West can't even afford
It does exist, yeah.
He tried. He didn't have enough money.
AKA Jesus.
Yeah.
He says he's Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, he's not. So
He may
we'll
be.
just debunk that right now.
Yeah, there
he's
it is.
not.
He's not.
He's a rap
What
artist.
would that make
He's a
Kim
rap artist.
Kardashian if she's Jesus married? That's not.
Of the worst sort.
Right.
I don't know, the selfie queen. It doesn't matter. Makes her the selfie queen no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she is. She takes a lot of pictures of herself.
What's
But
it-
she is a mother, so we'll give her that too.
What's interesting in this video coming up here, I'll just preface it just a little bit. The woman says, I never asked for this healing. I didn't expect it. She says I wasn't particularly. She's using a moral lens when she says this, but I wasn't in the Word. I wasn't going to church. So she feels like she's been not particularly moral. Not particularly
Paying a
right
price.
with God.
Paying a little bit of a price.
Well, I shouldn't necessarily think that, but she has this experience and going into it, she says, I didn't expect anything. I didn't ask for anything, and frankly I wasn't even really living morally, to warrant anything. So
she is a person of faith, Christian.
she was for that day.
She is on the Christian channel, so they usually hunt down.
What is that? Walking in Memphis. I'll be a Christian for today or something like that. I can't remember how that
the
goes.
song.
Yeah. Are you a Christian child? It said, "A man I am tonight," or something like that. Yeah, I think she was that night.
Oh, you're gonna like this since we're talking the word Christian. You're gonna love. As I was reading the letter to Pat Robertson yesterday, and by the way, on Friday we're gonna hear Pat Robertson's rebuttal letter, and it's nasty.
I didn't know that
it is nasty.
responded
Yeah,
to that.
he did.
Wow.
He did. It is nasty. So
Wow.
we'll be hearing that Friday.
That's tomorrow. That's coming up quick.
But there was a blog after that whole letter and whatnot, and
Yes.
somebody wrote, "Can you imagine what the world's going to be like when because of the rapture?" She said, "When
Right,
every
right.
authentic Christian is not on earth." Authentic
my.
Christian.
Interesting.
yes. So I thought that was
Less
interesting.
arrogant.
Club.
Less arrogant, probably.
Yeah.
The elect are gone.
Well, people are very uncomfortable with the people that say they know things versus the mass majority that say I don't have a fucking clue.
I don't.
And that's kind of like
It's
even
obvious.
Bill Maher's position with Religulous was that hey, I don't fucking know, and anybody that says that they do know, is a hypocrite, and they don't know what they're talking about. That's this whole
and
premise.
delusionally
and
said it,
delusional,
and brain,
absolutely.
yeah, like a brain issue.
So
need a CAT scan.
I do take some objection to not to having to play this ignorant role of unknowing all the time. You can know things, from your life experience, from your faith experience. You can know things. The problem is that a lot of the people that are saying that they know something they go fuck up, and then it just gives a bad name to knowledge, if you will, about spiritual things and things related to faith. But I know stuff, okay, and I'm not going to back off of that just because other people have fucked up and said the same and then led people astray or caused them, hardship. So, are we good, Richard T?
Yes. As
All
a
right,
matter of fact,
let's take a
video
look
is
at
ready
this
to
again.
go.
Take a look at this video and decide for yourself: is this real? Is this shit real? Take a look.
Out of nowhere, I had like this lightning bolt of piercing, burning pain. It was the most excruciating pain I'd ever felt in my life.
Need more volume.
Come into the upper part of my left cheek and it just pierced straight through my face.
It was 1997 when 25-year-old Chris Carlson started having the attacks. At first, they lasted a few seconds, but every day they returned, more painful and more often.
But when Chris would have one of the shocks, the spikes of pain in her face, I could see it instantly. Her eye would close up, her face would kind of scrunch up.
My face would swell up with the pain, and so literally my face would constrict.
Doctors couldn't find the cause, and the faintest touch on her face or exposure to light would trigger an episode. The pain from her sensitivity to light became so debilitating, she had to leave her job as an engineer and isolate herself from friends.
Our house was becoming darker and darker and darker. I mean, a light bulb would go out, we wouldn't replace it. And so literally it was dark, but emotionally it was also dark.
Finally, after 6 years, doctors discovered Chris had a rare chronic pain condition called TN, or trigeminal neuralgia. It affects the trigeminal nerve that carries sensation to the face and brain. It's also known as the suicide.
Because people just can't pain, and so they will eventually take their own life.
I mean, it was very stressful. It controlled everything about our lives, every decision we made.
For the next 9 years, doctors treated Chris with medications, injections, and surgeries, but they provided only temporary relief. Chris and Dave say during this time, they prayed for everything except healing.
We pray to get the right doctor who would know what was going on. We'd pray to get the right procedure, but never did we know to just pray to take it away.
So with all her options exhausted, Chris asked God to help her cope with the pain.
You have to help me. I can't do this. Well, if I have to live with it, God, you gotta help me to live with it. You know, I can't do it all by myself. So you're gonna have to step in and help me.
In August 2012, Dave encouraged her to attend a healing service hosted by a local pastor, Tim McCarthy. The guest speaker was Marlene Kleppies, a woman healed of cerebral palsy. Pastor Tim introduced her by showing her story that once aired on the 700 Club.
And then afterwards, Pastor Tim said, Marlene would pray for people if you'd like prayer. And so I look at Dave and I'm like, okay, let's go. It's time to go home. He's like, are you kidding? You are going up for prayer.
Reluctantly, she went forward.
I said, look, I don't believe in this whole healing business. And she says, okay.
Okay, I'll believe for you. That's not a hard task. And then I remember feeling that it was very important that I touch the side of her face.
And then she asked to touch my face. And nobody ever touched my face, but I let her. So she puts her hand on my face and says just a simple prayer. She's getting very bouncy and joyous, and she's like, oh, I didn't expect that. There it is. And so, of course, I don't say, yes, I'm feeling heat in the back of my neck. She finishes her prayer, and I say, okay, thank you very much. Have safe travels home.
As the couple headed home, a tingling sensation spread throughout the left side of her face.
For 25 minutes, I had that. And then I had nothing. My face just opened up, my eye opened, and I had no pain.
She's like, I don't feel any pain at all. I'm like any pain?
And we were both just confused. You know, where's the pain? It had been 15 years and it was gone.
Chris was in awe of what God had done.
In that moment, I was quiet. The pain is gone. But there was no reason for me to be healed. I wasn't in the Word all the time. I wasn't actively asking for healing. I wasn't, I didn't have my ducks in the row, And I was healed only because He loves me.
Chris and Dave say the miracle made them reevaluate their priorities. They quit their jobs and sold their belongings. Today, they travel as missionaries and spread the word about God's healing power.
He's absolutely incredible, isn't He? That I can go from being so sick to this is just amazing. And we have the most blessed life.
Alrighty, so that was a very, very interesting account there. And, I think as I was watching that, I'm thinking, when people, if they've ever read the biblical literature, they've read things about, Jesus doing healings and casting out demons and stuff like that. And I think people read it like a fairy tale. So it's like, yeah, cool story. That's a cool story. And I think on some level, I think they want to believe that, what they read in the literature. But when it comes out in your face like that, and someone is claiming that they went from the most excruciating pain to just complete relief such that they can travel internationally and talk about it, how does that strike you? Does it strike you as believable? Is it Pat Robertson up to his old tricks? How does that strike you? I'm just curious. Because I've already had a chance to watch this a few times, and I've already got my reactions, which you'll get shortly. But how does it strike the both of yous?
I believe that it can happen.
Yeah?
I really do.
So
I do.
Do you think that happened right there? That she was being honest and had all that pain, and then it was healed of it?
Well, I know there is placebo. I mean, I've done that plenty, but I don't know. The mind is really, really powerful. I mean, a lot more powerful than we'll ever really know.
Okay.
And a lot of people would say, it was just the way her mindset was.
Wow, that sounds like our New Age people from yesterday.
Yeah, no, but
yeah.
I do believe that actually, I know that that can happen.
Yeah.
So.
Now you say you know.
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
I know. Well, from life experiences. I mean,
You've been healed?
I've been healed.
Have you?
Yes, I've been healed, and it's interesting because I didn't really focus that much on healing until it was kind of brought up to me. You know, you can heal from this. You can heal from this. And
Similar story.
Yeah. Poor thing though. I can't imagine having what she had.
Yeah.
But yeah,
no, but you had something. You had some. You don't have to. We never have to do comparative and say, well, she had it worse. Who cares about that? But
Right.
how did you get healed? What did that happen? How was that like for you?
Well, by trying every day. I mean, by pushing through my fears. By I would say I didn't have to go to church. Because that, and it didn't help any besides people tell me, you kind of just deserve what you got.
Oh, great. So more condemnation. Okay.
Yeah, but no, I really once I kind of focused on healing and I just kind of embraced it.
Yeah.
It just kind of flowed through me, and
But just by kind of embracing it as a possibility in your life.
Yeah, embracing
Okay.
it as a possibility, and I do believe in spirit. Spiritually, I believe there's a God.
Yeah.
And I don't think that we have to do something though every Sunday, to get that to happen.
To get that
No,
love, right?
No,
Because that's
yeah.
what she said. She said, I was just loved. That was my only
I
qualification.
love that she brought that up.
Yeah, I do too. That's
Yeah,
good.
it's
Mike, what do you think? How does that strike you?
Oh my! I've scribbled so many notes over
I
here.
saw you scribbling notes,
There
yes.
was so much going on, so I think I'll blend the funny with the serious.
Okay.
I knew, by the way, when the piano music picked up
Right.
with the strings, that things were going to go good.
Okay, yeah, very, very good
That's
point.
the first thing I want to. Yeah, I'm a little volume challenged over here. I don't think I'm even.
I can hear you.
Okay, you can.
Yeah,
hear me.
the music got
That's
more.
fine. Just weird for me because I'm accustomed to hearing it louder. So anyway, my reaction when I first saw her, just her tone of voice,
Right.
and her general demeanor was she's just off a little bit.
Okay.
She's off.
Right.
And then when they showed those pictures of her, I said she got drunk. Really drunk, and she's getting really drunk, and she's hiding it.
Oh,
I'm a
okay.
cynic.
All right.
That's disgusting.
Right.
But in any event, now I'll try to be serious.
Oh, we're gonna make a
I
transition.
really highly doubt that, and this is not like those girls we saw in the Bill Nye video. Right. This is an engineer, takes quite a bit of education.
Right.
Not that an engineer can't be crazy, but I really highly doubt she would quit her job.
Right.
And staying secluded in a home. And then my mind leapt to 6 years. She first went 6. We're talking 6 years, lights out in a living hell.
Yep.
And the husband as well, plus another 9 that they started treating. 15 years of this. I mean, that's a big charade to play for that long.
Yeah. So you believe in the hurting part of it, then?
Yeah, I do.
What
And
about
then
the
now
healing
we
part?
hear as you pick apart the video. I mean, it's a neurological issue that doctors actually diagnosed. And what my mind leapt to at that point was how many other. I wanted to hear how many other people they've treated with this, because obviously they showed.
Is there treatment?
They sure didn't treat her. I mean, they
tried.
treated her, but it was unsuccessful.
But
yeah.
I know a lot of people. I was out to dinner with people last night, and my phone is floating around in someone's car. And these are friends of Bob's, and they're older. They come from New York, and we get along. But the guy's from eating too much pasta and he's very ill at this point. It's really sad.
Yeah,
it's some really sad things have happened, water retention and all these sort of issues. But in any event, there was a lot of doctor talk going on.
Yeah.
And I know from Bob that people go to neurologists all the time, whether their leg, drop leg, or this happens or that happens, and it's mysterious. Sometimes people find answers, sometimes they don't. So a lot of that was going. I mean, I wanted to know that they've named it after. I mean, I don't know if they named it after her, but they had a name, TLSC or
yeah.
I mean, it wasn't
for it. Yeah.
So it's a very God. There's so much going on in that story. I mean, I'm glad it worked out. One thing that came to my mind too was she's like, "Thank you." I like how she kind of beat up on. She pushed back on God a little. Look, you're not going to. You're going to have to step in. To
Right.
at least,
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
She pushed
Yeah,
back.
She did. Yeah.
Didn't she?
She was pissed off. Yeah.
So what your mind has to jump to is that God was completely content though. For 15 years, just for her life to be.
Well, that depends if God caused all that.
Right,
Yeah,
but that's what she was saying.
Yeah. She probably felt that way.
Now
sure.
shut up.
Yeah. No, that's.
But I have more notes for later.
No, very well.
Do you
Yes.
think she was really in pain? Like
Yes.
Yeah.
I just can't believe that she would seclude herself like that for that. I mean, look at her now. She's happy and she's
Traveling
or maybe,
around,
but then
yeah.
again, my mind leaps to this too. It could have been a mental condition, and she was looking for. I'd like to see more of what was going on in her life.
Yeah.
Because it seems like she didn't have the purpose of her being a missionary, and you get this with a lot of people that go that route. I mean, they then all of a sudden you think the story's over. They quit their job. Both quit. Well, they said she quit her
They
job.
both quit, yeah, at
She
that
had been
point,
out of
yeah.
work for 15 years,
Yeah.
right? But he did, and they take this huge step to become missionaries. And look
Right.
how happy she was in Rick Warren, purpose driven.
Right. Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
I gotta tell you though, when I was in labor and that epidural kicked in,
Mhm.
I was a little like her. You know, I was like, oh,
You wanna become a
life
missionary?
is good. Yeah, hey, I'd do it if you told me you were going to take the pain away. Sure,
Right.
I'll do
no, that's a
anything.
good point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I was the the way that she was when she had the pain, and then the way she was after. It's a little too real. I can relate.
Yeah.
And let me
yeah.
throw this in real quick too. Someone was cured of cerebral palsy, so some doctors may want to get on that and interview her.
Yeah.
That's right.
No, I agree there. There with cerebral palsy, they are saving the umbilical cords and
Right.
injecting, and you know,
Right.
whatever
But she didn't
goods
do
come
that.
from an umbilical cord, and it's actually reversing a lot of the brain
Gotcha.
damage.
But she did it herself. So
Well,
they
Well, yeah,
want-
it was the pastor
Yeah.
did that. Yeah.
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 So if we all take it kind of prima facie, in other words, the information that we saw is accurate. That she
Okay.
was in pain. You know, if we do, we're just taking the hypothesis, and I do, by the way, I believe this story. But if we take it prima facie and see that there was enormous pain, debilitating pain, her husband testified to that as well. And then suddenly there's this experience, and she's no longer in pain and traveling the world to talk about it. I'm going to take that at face value. But, you do. Everybody has their own kind of opinion about whether this healing takes place. And I think that the downside of believing in healing for anybody is that, what about me?
Sure.
If you believe that this healing took place for this woman that we just saw, and you've got some serious stuff going on in your life, with your kids or yourself or what have you, if you say that it exists, that healing is a possibility, then you're also, in a way, kind of condemning yourself, saying, well, then how come I can't be healed? So that's a tough position to take. And it almost, even with the people we talk about, having special knowledge of, people, you say, I'm saved. I'm saved from the torment of hell. It's almost like when other people hear that, they want to think, well, if it's possible for you, and you do seem to have this whole different disposition about you, and you do seem to have this whole different outlook on life and stuff like that, if it's possible at all, for you to get into this spiritual reckoning or what have you, reconciliation, then it feels kind of condemning for the people standing outside, saying, well, what the fuck? How come this person says that they
Right.
have been spiritually liberated?
Right.
And I'm always very conscious of that on the show. I'm careful not to use the religious language that I grew up in, because it is very condemning. It does feel like a club. It does feel like you have to have, the word is gnosis, Gnosis. You have to have special knowledge. The book of John, as a matter of fact, in the New Testament biblical literature, is basically a Gnostic book. It's all information about how to get this special information. It's kind of like a coded book. You almost have to have those old books where you had to have a key to get into it, and it kind of is, and that's both exciting and frightening.
Sure.
Because it's exciting if you feel like you have the key, or you understand it, or you have the spiritual eyes and ears to get it, to get the message, and frightening as hell if you read it and it's just words on a page and nothing jumps out at you and nothing becomes real. And so I think, to me, I think that's how perhaps a lot of people would be looking at this healing situation. If it's real, if it's even possible, then why not for me? Why not for my kids?
Well, I think the timeline is important, and she made that point. That you have to ask the question, and then you can use the cliche, God works in mysterious ways.
Ugh.
Right?
Yeah.
But you would say why someone was healed on day one, and she had to, she said she had to get her spiritual ducks in a row.
Well, she tried to, but she never did.
That was neat. But now if you look at the situation and then work backwards, the whole scenario led up to her being given this new life.
Yeah.
Of service to God. And So then you have to say, well, why was that the plan for her? It was a divine plan, not hers.
Just because, if you believe in this healing, which I do, by the way, I totally believe that this healing took place. I think it was a very touching story. Now, what she did with it afterwards might have been revert back to religion. So going off of being a missionary may not have had anything to do with being healed. The healing, the grace of being healed in this situation might have just been totally for the benefit of her and her husband.
And to go back to their life.
What they did with it next, it was entirely up to them, as if they owed a debt of gratitude, which they don't, really.
Which they felt they did, though.
Right,
they felt that was the
did.
sign to change their lives.
So maybe the reason,
grace.
but maybe the reason they're on 700 Club is because 700 Club is so hot for these stories where people become indebted to God and go and do this ministry, because obviously they're very miserable in the show, and if they are, they're so fucking miserable in the show. Every time I hear something new from Pat Robertson, he's a miserable old man. He's 87 years old, by the way. Maybe that's what attracted them to this story. They probably missed the whole healing part, really, and jumped right to the part where, oh God, I gotta work this off now. I gotta work this off. I gotta go do missionary service. I've got to start going to church and read my fucking Bible. And that's why 700 Club and CBN was interested in this story, because of the religious reaction. And I will be honest with you, I did have a spiritual liberation on February 14th of 2002. I know exactly where I was when it happened. Blah 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 blah. Okay. However, the first year and a half after that, I went religious again. I went back to the days of my youth with all the rules and regulations and trying to coerce people into intellectual conversations and debates and conversions.
Felt good to be back.
It did. I mean, I was damn good at it because I had 18 years of training. And so when I thought, oh, okay, I owe this to God, which is exactly what she kind of said and did. When I said I owe this to God, then I became the person knocking on the doors and trying to convert people, and they slammed the doors on my face, as they should, because I was a religious fuck. I really was. And so the story here, the part that I can believe, is the grace part where this woman was healed, and that's it. And that's it, because all the knee-jerk stuff, why they both quit their jobs. I mean, hey, it's tough to quit your jobs and go into self-employment, which missionary is most definitely self-employment, or receiving donations from people to make it. That's a tough business to get into, and you never know if you're going to make it or not make it. So I don't know. I think the story almost got robbed a little bit by the religious service in servitude to the grace that had happened, the healing.
I would kind of throw it back in their face. Sorry, Mike. I would kind of throw it back in their face, though. The fact that the point is she wasn't going to church. I mean, she still received this healing, this gift, and the fact that they're missionaries, I admire that, because that means they're applying themselves.
Yeah. Or they're applying their old religious mantra, though, too. When you said that, it immediately made me think of something. That when Paul was pissed off writing that letter to Galatia again, I love that letter. He said, if you started by the Spirit, then why go back to the law? And so the thing is, this woman basically admitted that she had never been under the law. She wasn't doing the Bible study. She wasn't, particularly close to God. She wasn't doing the religious things. So she gets this spiritual experience that completely changes her and her husband's life. And now she goes back to the law system? I mean, Paul would be pissed as hell about that. He'd say, what the fuck? You just had this spiritual experience, and now you're going to go back to the law and religious system.
So you think that, now I don't know exactly what she did. I would like to know more about what she's doing in the missionary.
Yeah.
It looks like your standard third world kind of stuff to me.
Yeah, I mean, but what are missionaries? Are people that go out and pedantic? There we go. The pedantically,
they do witness. That's part of it. Here's some
tell
water.
You
here's
how
some
it's
clean,
supposed to go.
Here's some clean water, and here's a Bible.
They are the most obnoxious, arrogant people. I was a missionary kid, by the way. In 1979, my family went to Brazil for a year, Fortaleza, Brazil. So I was a missionary kid. I know this circle, okay? And again, I'm not going to label everybody, just almost everybody, probably everybody.
A couple of nice ones
but
in there.
It is this arrogance that you go to other parts of the world and tell them how it is.
Right.
In fact, you can even throw in a little bit of Americana. You can tell them about the Constitution and patriotism, and how we negotiated with the Native Americans and all the other horse shit that you want to talk about that didn't really happen. it just seems like these arrogant ambassadors, if you want to call them that are going out and trying to convert people with the American way and the Christian religious way.
Yeah.
I agree with you there, because telling them how it is, that's kind of like whenever I was really depressed and suicidal, and it was like them coming over to my house and saying, just don't think about the bad things, and saying that was my problem.
Yeah.
So I can agree. I can agree there.
It's almost like, do you remember we were talking about The Blind Side, where we had that harsh critique out of Dallas where she said, oh, thank God for the white people. Where would black people be if it weren't for white, nice people? Nice white people. And it's like the same. The third world countries are saying, oh, thank God for the white missionary. Where would we be if we didn't have the white missionary, coming over here? It's like that's racist and every other kind of systematic thing.
What else do you think she should be doing?
I think that she ought to be going back to the desires of her heart that she obviously gave up. She gave up her job that she maybe loved. She should have perhaps gone back.
That was a big, a big shock.
And maybe there's a possibility, of course, that this really was spirit-led. And that's the key here about whether something was spirit-led to go travel the world and talk about the healing. Maybe it was. I'm not going to say that it wasn't. But I am saying that it sure looks to me like a knee-jerk reaction, somebody who had an amazing spiritual experience that goes back to the law, goes back to religion.
Yeah, she missed it, didn't she?
Why the 15? Here's the philosophical question too. Why 15? It's got a little Job aspect to it. 15 years.
Yeah,
it's a long time to. Why? Is there any? Do you have any explanation? I mean,
She claims that she had just never asked the question before.
Okay,
so that it was really kind of her fault that she never thought to ask. Just take it all away.
That's interesting. I have best friends back in Indiana that their house. And this
burned down?
No. Their house was infested with brown recluse spiders.
Yeah.
I mean, no, infested. I mean, like, they even had a specialist from Texas come and went up in the attic.
Wow.
And they, went up in the attic and
arachnophobia.
Yeah, it was horrible. They were on the news and they went up in the attic and the spiders didn't spread or run anywhere. And they said it's completely infested. They thought about taking out. I mean, they flipped their lives inside out with this because it was their house. They had 3 kids. Yeah. It was a nightmare for me. Plus, they lived 5 miles away from my parents. And I was like, that's, I'm sure it didn't want
Yeah. No, I sleep over now.
She had said with her daughter, she went in she said, God, can you just, she said she was praying for this and praying for that. But then she kind of came to this realization of, I wasn't saying, God, can you open my eyes to, anything that I need to see? And she said, then I saw a brown recluse spider and she left. And I didn't really get that. I was kind of a little puzzled because I thought, what do you mean? And you mean she just asked the right question then? I don't know. She kind of lost me.
It does feel
there.
that way. It does feel that way. Like you have to say just the right words, and then if you unlock the code, then So we're gonna delve into that issue. I do want to say though that I have a personal experience with healing as well, and again, I have to tell you, I do believe in it because I've had this happen on 3 different occasions. On one occasion, I was feeling so, not depressed, but oppressed. There's a big difference between clinical depression and oppression, where there is a demonic sense around you, or demonic hold around you. And I was feeling this oppression that was leading me to this suicidal thinking. I can have the suicidal thinking without oppression, but there are times where it's so bad that it is actually an oppression. It is actually demonic activity suggesting hardcore, go fucking die.
Yeah.
And I felt that. And there was one occasion where I just put my own hands on my head and said, I know that you can. And the oppression was gone.
Immediately.
Immediately.
Wow.
Not the depression. There was still kind of just a mild depression still, but the oppression was gone. One other case, I had a major case of the fever. I don't get sick very often, but I was just debilitated. I just couldn't even, I could barely walk up the stairs. My body was just drained. You know how it feels,
Yeah.
And so I had just kind of given up on the computer in the basement, the person that I was with at the time, and I just went and laid down. And I don't remember exactly what I said, but I was laying there, and I think maybe that's when I said, I know you can. And it was gone. Again, I got up. I had all my energy back. I walked back downstairs. I commented to the person that I was living with at the time. I said, "Oh, this is strange. I think I just healed myself." Because and there was no doubting it. There were a couple of people there, and I had all my energy back. So unless I was faking it, with the fever and just can't even, hardly move, and then I bounce back and I'm back to the computer and back to work within minutes,
When you said, "I know you can,"
I was talking.
You hear the knock on
Yes.
the door? It was CBN.
Right, yeah. No, but then I never went religious. They wouldn't be interested.
Oh, right,
in me.
right.
But when you said that, were you expecting?
No, I didn't. Not really.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
what's interesting, though, because a lot of people would think, well, but if you were expecting
right,
that, that's
the
probably
intention.
what.
There's
yeah.
the intention shit that we were talking about yesterday.
Yeah.
Energy follows intention. No, I wasn't. I mean, I wanted it, of course, but I wasn't expecting it. The last time I was in Phoenix in March of 2014, just a year and a half ago, and I had a horrible situation. A divorce that actually was an annulment because I found out that the woman was married to somebody else.
Oh, gosh.
It was just horrible, and I was just at the worst possible point. Arizona is a very friendly state to guns, so you actually can bring your gun right to the furniture store, to McDonald's. I would regularly take walks at night with my firearm, and was very, very serious about ending the whole goddamn thing.
Wow.
One morning, around 2 or 3 in the morning, I just woke up, and I was healed. And now this isn't going to mean anything to anybody who doesn't know mental illness. Because when you have mental illness and depression and bipolar and all the other diagnoses, anxiety, all the other diagnoses that go along with it, it is in your mind all the time. You don't ever get a break unless you're sleeping and then you're not conscious, right?
Sleeping was my favorite thing.
That's the only thing that you can do to get rid of it.
Yep.
I woke up healed from bipolar for 2 hours. Okay, I didn't know it was going to be 2 hours, but I felt like you normal people.
Yeah.
I did. I honestly felt like everything was possible. I had a lot of shit on my plate. I had a lot to take care of, and I felt like I had the energy to, and I just started making lists like all you other normal people do. I started making lists. This is what I got to do. I got to take care of this and this and this. And for 2 hours, I was healed, and I couldn't believe it. I was just like reveling in this. And then I fell back to sleep, and I woke up back to bipolar.
Whoa, that's a
I
weird...
hate that. Before I go to sleep, I'm like this. I've got everything. I know what I'm doing, and then I almost hate. I come to a point where I told my kids, I was like, don't ever let me take a nap,
right?
Because I would wake up with the worst. I mean, you can't imagine the anxiety.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
anything
I can,
and everything.
but, yeah.
Well,
Most
yeah,
people
but
can't.
most people can't.
Yeah.
And that's interesting that you remember the moment. That means it's real, because I remember, going through times to where I felt like the cloud was gone, and I felt great. And like I said, it's kind of like whenever you fall in love, everything's
Right.
brighter, everything's better, and then when you go back, oh God,
Yeah.
it's horrible.
So I know for a fact, it is my testimony before you today that on three occasions that I can even think of, there may have been others, but 3 significant occasions, there was miraculous healing that took place in my head. All 3 times it was to do with my head. Well, I guess my body the one time too. I have experienced miraculous healing. Small scale, small periods of time, nonetheless, miraculous healing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to believe this woman. I'm going to believe really anybody that says that they have had miraculous healing. But then the question is, so how do we apply that to, daily life? Who are the gatekeepers, if you will? Who gets to say that you're going to be healed and the vast majority of you aren't, right? What does it take to get to this place of healing? So we've got some interesting things on the show today. We're actually going to do a call out to a guy. I hope to reach him. His name is Brian, a friend of mine who's just an extraordinary guy from Grand Rapids, Michigan. And he has had such a transformation. I'll let him talk about that. But he has had such a transformation. He seems to be gifted with some amazing spiritual things that I am not gifted with. And so, I'm gonna ask him a little bit about his kind of supernatural experiences that he's had as well. But who are the gatekeepers? Who gets to decide if you're going to be healed, or if you just go to hell, do not collect $200?
I don't know. Did you ever kind of dissect that situation where you...
You don't. You know what? You never
you
do.
can't.
If you dissect it, you're starting a rationalization process, and you lose it.
Yep. You missed the point.
And it's not anti-intellectual, because I know a lot of people are thinking, well, then you're just being anti-intellectual. You're not allowing intellect. No, this was not a place for intellect. It was decidedly cleared out of intellect because it was just healing. That was the grace of it. It had nothing to do with science or any other
I'm saying,
explanation.
why not be healed for good and not just only for 2 hours? So you had to wonder that. You must have pondered that.
The only thing that it made me believe is that healing takes place. It just didn't solve the long-term issue. But the act of grace, like for this woman, she had the act of grace, but then she went off and did missionary service. Yeah. It's like she may have lost it because she maybe thought, well, God paid me this benefit here, so I'm going to work it off for the rest of my life. Then you've missed the point.
Yeah.
So even if I had 2 hours of reprieve from bipolar, which I have had since I was 13 years old, that was the miracle. That was the grace. Doesn't require any more dissecting than that.
Okay. That's a good answer.
That's just my.
That's a damn good answer.
Take on. Well, thanks. I'm going to stick to it too.
I'm sticking to it.
So the gatekeepers, the goddamn gatekeepers, because you look at these religious church services where they seem to be able to do it like assembly line style,
Yeah.
where all you got to do is just come forward and they put a hand on you, and you're healed.
Yeah, what was that movie with Steve Martin in it? Where he was a
evangelist with a tent and everything
Right.
else. I forget the name of it, but he played a real slimy, real
and that's the
shyster.
impression that most people have.
Real shyster with the
Most people
small
are
towns
very
and
cynical of the Pentecostals and charismatics because they're
That's
the
what
ones.
he was, yeah.
they're the ones that engage in the healing services and the regular kind of formulaic.
Yeah. I always wanted to see The Apostle, which was the
that
more
was a good
serious
one.
version.
You
with
haven't seen
Robert,
that one
no, I
yet?
never did see that with
Oh, Robert
Duvall.
Duvall.
That
Very,
looked
very
more
good movie.
Like,
Yeah, that was an excellent movie. He did a great job with that.
You might hate this statement, Kurt, but I kind of look at it in the religious realm, and I came upon this in my own thinking at some point. Similar to not everybody's as far as spiritual gifts. Why people seem to be teachers or people seem it's similar to like not everybody's going to be Mozart.
Yeah.
Just in the world of
that's
gifts.
true.
I mean, so you got my friend's father used to tell me this, and I always took it to heart. He said, "You know what, Michael? That's his voice, by the way.
Nice.
You know what, Michael? I could play piano for the next 400 years, and it wouldn't matter. I still wouldn't be as good as Mozart."
Right.
And so we see these, whether it's a painter or somebody who's very good at construction or whatever it is. So that's what I think. Some people do have some spiritual gifts.
No, and that makes sense.
God-given.
Yeah, everybody is uniquely gifted. Many people never, realize any of their that path.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about that today,
or they
too,
turn away and do, like you say, make bad decisions. And that's, I think, a terrible, terrible thing to do is when you are gifted with something, but through a series of horrendous decisions, throw them away. That's a sad thing to think
That's
about.
a sin. That's a sin.
It's off the mark. It's off the mark for your life.
Yeah.
Especially if people around you are trying to help you too. Say, hey, look, throwing it away, dude.
Exactly. As a lot of those people don't have shit to say, and so it's true that a lot of times we just dismiss everything we hear. But if you get that rare fucker that comes up to you and says, "You know what? I actually talked to God, and this is what He's saying," be suspect. But on the other hand, what a rare person to encounter someone that actually would claim, that kind of confidence, that kind of guidance and direction. You get somebody like that, you might want to pay attention. Mm-hmm. Richard, let's go to break. We're going to call Brian right out of the beginning of next hour.
Good segment.
Who are those gatekeepers?
Where are they?
We want to get healing, but we just don't know where to go.
Get out of the way.
And like you said, I mean, there's like this special class of people with the badge that says I can heal you. Like I voted today, but it says I can heal you, and we just got to find them. You never see those people when you need them.
Yeah.
So,
I want one of those.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
got rid of someone's cold today.
Did you? Nice.
My badge.
We are going to make a call out.
Your gout be gone.
To Brian right now.
Did you feel that?
Did you say gout?
Oh, sure. Gout. Yes, I heal gout.
And Brian is an interesting guy, just abundantly spiritual and supernatural.
Hello, Brian.
Brian, good morning. It's Kurt. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Kurt. Doing well, thank you. How you
Awesome.
doing?
Very, very well. You are live right now on Shock Therapy Radio, and appreciate your joining us. You know, we were talking today about healing, and all last night. I usually prepare for the show at night, and so I'm working. And I think you got a text from me like around 9:30 or 10 late last night saying, "Hey, can you jump in on this one?" So I appreciate you for doing it. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Brian, we have Mike and Alyssa next to me in the show here, and we are talking about healing today. And we just got done watching a video on healing, a woman that had just gone through some horrible pain in her head for 15 years, and then said, it just occurred to me that maybe I should ask God to take it away. And there was a faith healer that did that, and was able to take away the healing. I've already talked about you on the show in terms of just how incredible of a person you are, and you are such a man that just emanates spirituality. You have talked to me countless times just about supernatural things. There's no other explanation for some of the things that you've witnessed or been involved in, other than just saying they're supernatural things. So when you hear about healing or faith healing, how does that strike you? Is that something you believe in?
It is now.
Yeah? Is now. What does that mean?
Brian, you gotta...
Very skeptic, very critical.
Yeah.
Very, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
When you watch that TV, it's fake.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the televangelists that come on late at night, that sort of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, yes.
Yep.
But it's different now, though, isn't it? I mean, do you actually, we all believe in natural things. That's easy to figure out. But now we're talking about supernatural things. And I've talked just in the first hour here about some healings that I actually have had myself, just temporary. They only lasted, a short period of time, but they were miraculous healings. Have you ever experienced something like that, or have you ever been a part of something like that?
Yeah, I've had emotional healing as well as physical healing myself.
Yeah.
Got to see others doing, yes.
Yeah, yes, you have. And have you, it sounds to me, too, just from talking with you, that you have a special gift, Brian. You know that. You are able to see things that other people kind of can't see, by virtue of, the spiritual eyes and ears that you have now. Does that change your perspective on just about everything when you're able to see things that others just are not able to see? I think you've talked to me about being able to kind of see into people's lives in ways that they can't see themselves. Doesn't that just change your whole fucking world when you have a gift like that or that sort of perspective?
Oh, yeah. And what's cool about that is it changes the person in front of you in yourself, because you know that there's no way for you to know the things that you know.
Exactly. And yet you feel more confident then than ever, right? Because you know the source of it.
Yes.
Yeah. That is absolutely amazing, and I always enjoy our time together. Unfortunately, Brian lives in Grand Rapids, and like he told me the last time I was up there, he said, "Why'd you have to go move to Florida?" Because it would just be. Now you are coming down to Florida, I think, sometime later this year. Are you not?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Awesome. So we're going to actually have you. Will you commit right now to being on the show in studio when you come down here?
Oh, yes.
You have a nice couch.
Yeah, there's a nice couch waiting here for you. We're looking at it right now. So when there's talk about this faith healing, though, is there any doubt? And when you see things like that now, whether it's on Pat Robertson's network or wherever it comes from, do you give them the benefit of the doubt now?
Yeah, mostly, I still fight with my thought patterns, and I'm always critical.
Yeah.
I'm always a skeptic.
Right.
In business, or the deal's too good to be true, you walk away.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But these deals have been mind-blowing that you've been involved in spiritually, though. So, and you haven't walked away.
Right.
Yeah. So that
I think that's what keeps me.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you do for a living, Brian?
Yeah, and it's like experience. No one can say that you're a liar because you experience life a certain way.
You're right.
No one can tell you differently, really. So it's just like you experience it, you know for yourself that it's real. But until you experience it, you have a hard time, I think, understanding it.
Yeah. So since you are yourself a skeptic, and I am too, I mean, we both have intellect and we use it, right? So we are skeptical. What do you say to people that, they need the healing? I mean, how many billions of people are in need of some sort of healing, whether it's just spiritual healing from themselves or emotional or physical healing? It seems like there are special gatekeepers that have the ability to heal, and then it seems like then there's everybody else. There's the critical masses of people that may never actually experience, physical. How do we make sense of the fact that healing seems to take place in some corners, but for so many other people, they may not ever experience, physical or emotional healing? Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah, my mother is one of them.
Interesting. How's that?
Yeah, my mother has many, many issues of life.
Okay.
And she cries out to Jesus all the time to help her.
All right.
Still alive, which that in itself is amazing, but she hasn't experienced a physical healing, but she's experienced emotional healing.
Okay.
What is an example of emotional healing?
What's that?
What is an example of emotional healing?
Like for myself, I struggled with suicide since I was probably 11, 12 years old.
Wow, yeah.
So all the way up until I was 26 years old, I never wanted to live, and all I thought about was role play suicide continually.
Yeah.
And no one could help me. I saw a psychiatrist and different things, and the moment I experienced being a son of God, being to speak born again, whatever that looks like for people nowadays, it was gone. So the minute I asked, I didn't put my heart out before the Christ, which for me the Christ is the Messiah, which is right. For other people, it might be other things, but for me, once I did that, I probably struggled with that thought a handful of times since then. So it's been like 18 years.
Wow.
That because when I get really frustrated or angry with things, that I might about that, but it's not like a continual thought pattern in my life anymore.
Now, when you say it's not a continual thought pattern, is it completely eradicated under all circumstance, or is it just as a pattern? It's been kind of taken out.
Man, that's a good question. I would say a pattern for sure.
Okay.
And I still get depressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how to real
now
down in real terms.
You and I both have a problem with the power structures that be. You and I both have always had issue with authority. There's no question about that. In many cases, we feel like, and we probably were smarter than authority in the first place. Does it feel hierarchical that some people are healed and some are not? Does that part bother you, as if there's kind of like an authority that decides who's going to be healed and who's not? Does that rub you the wrong way?
Oh yeah. My daughter had to have open heart surgery when she was 3 years old, and I go to these different churches, and they wear a helmet too.
Yeah.
And they're all laying hands on her, praying healing and stuff. And I felt that my higher power told me that I'm not going to heal her. She's going to go to the hospital, and you're going to meet some amazing doctors and nurses, and they're going to help you through this.
Yeah.
She didn't know I'm with you, but I'm not going to heal it. I need you to be broken. I need you to, go through this so that you're a better person. And your daughter. And my daughter still remembers it, and she's 12 now, but she had to get open heart surgery, and all these other people are praying healing for, and I'm like, this is stop. I mean, I'm okay with this.
Now, Brian, that brings up an interesting question. Did you ever believe that God himself had caused the strife on your daughter, or was there another force present?
I did.
You felt that way? Yeah.
Yes. People told me, many people, leadership in the church told me it was because I'm not submitted to a higher personal person, such as a pastor or leadership at such a church. That's why this stuff is happening.
Interesting. So that's what the religious authority had to say. What do you believe at the end of the day? Did God cause that, or was that another spiritual force present? What do you believe now?
I believe that He uses all things for my good now.
Yeah.
And I experienced good and bad things in life, just like everybody else.
Sure.
I just have something to place my faith in now to get me through it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I had another situation where my wife got in a car accident. 3 or 4 months pregnant, and she got in a car accident, and our baby died. And so she had a miscarriage or whatever. And people again said the same thing. It's because
bastards.
I'm in business instead of in ministry, and God's protection isn't there because I'm not giving my 10% every week.
Oh boy.
My income. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That is totally crazy. It's interesting you said that, too, because right after this healing that we just watched at the beginning of the show, and by all means pull this up on archives when you get a chance, but at the end of this clip where the woman was healed, she immediately turned herself over to missionary service. And we were talking in the show about how she may have missed the majority of the grace of the healing by going immediately into knee-jerk reaction mode and going into religious service, like paying off a debt or something. Can you ever pay off a debt like that?
No, it's a free gift.
Yeah.
And it's hard to embrace that because we're taught everything opposite.
Yeah.
Now, how did you feel when they told you it was basically your fault because you didn't believe enough that your daughter was sick? Because I don't know if I would have been able to keep my composure very well. I don't think I would have kept them as friends.
Yeah, they weren't ever really friends, luckily. A few were.
Yeah.
A few supported what was spoken in reality, yes.
Yeah.
Even close family members.
Yeah.
Leave that for a minute. But now, several years later, they do not believe that theory anymore.
Oh, that's good. So they've been kind of healed from their rotten thinking then at this point.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah. For me, I mean, I found my wife in the shower curled up in a ball, and here these people, they're our spiritual advisors, telling us stuff, and now it's all put on me. And I'm amazed that people can be that mean.
Yeah. It is amazing, isn't it?
Now, Brian, you did say that you believe it's a free gift, and of course I totally agree with that, but do you think that you have to at least have some, positive thinking, or do you think that you have to, do you need to have more faith? I mean, do you personally need to activate this healing, or is it just totally a free gift?
Oh, man, I think there's times for both.
Yeah? Okay.
I think sometimes I can, sometimes I believe, which I call the Holy Spirit, would just drop on me out of nowhere.
Yeah, he does. I know. I've witnessed it.
Yeah, kind of like when I ran over that dog and I killed it and it was dead.
Yeah.
By 60 miles an hour, and then, I prayed and different things, and it actually started breathing again. And it was dead. I had poop all down the whole side of my car.
Yeah.
It cost me $3,000 to repair the damage to my car.
Yeah.
And that dog was actually dead. But like what we talked about before.
Yes.
The dog saved my life when I was growing up as a kid. But then that faith was there at that moment. But I don't walk around with that faith. But I guess certain events happen in my life, my faith either increases or it decreases.
So was that your faith as you were healing the dog, or was that the faith of the Spirit of God through you? What do you think?
The Spirit of God through me, through compassion and sorrow, and purity of the dog. It's not a human, so I can't get no glory out of it. You know
Right,
what I
right.
mean?
Yeah. That's
People
right.
are going to believe me that I resurrected a dog from the dead.
Right. Yeah, they're gonna do the same thing you just did, and they're gonna laugh. That's right. But
Yeah, exactly.
we believe it.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's just craziness,
Yeah.
but it happened.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
It happened. I mean, there's no denying it. It happened right before my eyes.
Yes. People cannot take away the incredible spiritual experiences that we've had. They can't say it didn't happen because we know that it did.
Yep.
Yeah, and that goes for our spiritual healing as well. Brian, thank you so much, and we
you,
cannot
Brian.
wait when Mike and Alyssa get to meet you in person. They are in for a treat because you are such a dynamic, energetic, and loving guy, and we cannot wait to have you in the studio here in St. Petersburg.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you.
All right, love you, brother. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for joining us today.
You bet. Thank you, guys and lady.
All righty. All right.
The lady.
Alrighty, excellent. Well, that was an interesting conversation.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
I wasn't overly surprised by a lot of the comments because I know him well. We've had a lot of good conversations. But what did you think in general about some of the things that he had to say, particularly? Well, I mean, he did say that there's times that he feels like that you need to have positive thinking and things like that. But he did say that he felt like when he was resurrecting the dog, which he told me about earlier, that wasn't him,
Yeah,
Well,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Other than the positive, I don't think the positive thinking thing has to be. I mean, I know it gets dragged out to a ridiculous level, but if you're just walking around like a miserable, negative fuck all the time, right? I mean, just in general, that general energy, mood for your life, typically, I'm not saying, is not going to not bring things into your life, but when people.
It's not going to help anything.
It's not going to help you. It's not going to, even in this literal way that you attack life.
Right,
It's not
right.
going to help you.
But
so
when
to be a little positive and in prayer, right?
Yeah.
And I don't see what
can't hurt, right?
Can't hurt.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's a
does
formula.
But does it harm you? Because I love when this woman said, I didn't really do anything. I didn't ask for this. I didn't expect this. The woman that was healed. And I wasn't really paying attention to the Bible. It wasn't, she was very clear that she had no interest whatsoever in moral or spiritual existence, and yet still, she had this. In fact, I love even more when she goes up to the woman and says, I don't really believe in any of this healing stuff. Just before she's fundamentally changed, life transformation, she says, I don't really believe in any of this healing stuff. And the woman says, that's okay. It's not that much of a task to believe for you.
Right.
I love that.
That's a funny line.
I love that because it takes all the onus off of the individual. Whoop, we got some major feedback going on, Richard. It takes all the onus off of the individual to have to think or do anything, whether it's positive thinking or negative thinking, or even asking for the healing in the first place.
Well, the Bible does say, God says that you did not choose me, I chose you.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean that kind of. Could be construed in that same manner and saying that even though she wasn't paying attention to the Bible, she wasn't actively doing anything,
right.
To feel like she deserved it. That right there, I think kind of also fits into God's grace to where you don't necessarily have to deserve it yet, or
Well, let's take it a step further, and we'll take somebody who has faith or a belief in God, but they're really living in a different way. Then you can push it even further to people who have really, and we had this discussion at Yaya's that one time, which was a nice lunch.
Yeah.
Kurt took me to Yaya's. We both
it was
liked
good
it.
chicken.
It was good.
Damn good chicken.
And people who are living, we talked about when you just see kind of darkness in people's eyes. People who are really living a bad existence.
Right.
Which is, you're way separated from any connection to anything divine.
Yeah.
Can they be healed?
I was. Let me tell you. On that date, February 14th, 2002, I was the darkest guy you could know. I was taking advantage of any and every situation for my total self-absorbed, stinking selfishness, arrogance. I was an asshole. I was a complete and total asshole. Yes, I was. I was a total asshole. I was traveling around the world being an asshole, and coming back from Germany to Newark, New Jersey, where all good things happen, right? Newark, New Jersey.
I was born there.
Yes, I know.
Oh, that was nice.
Yes. So I'm on this plane, and I happened to be in first class because I worked for Continental Airlines at the time. And my thought was, it didn't work out in this particular country. I think it was in Moldova or something. So I'll just go to Lithuania next time and go there instead. And so that's exactly what I was thinking. And in the midst of that thought process, almost mid-sentence going through my brain, I was invaded by a spiritual force that prompted me to start doing something. It started with just reading this piece of literature. I actually used my my Bible as a like a rabbit's foot. Remember in the 80s, it was like a good luck charm.
I had
kind of
I
thing.
had a rabbit's foot.
So I kind of had my rabbit's foot
Lucky.
Bible with me. Yeah, it protected me against all the darkness that I personally was involved in. And so, could you be completely dark and completely an asshole and completely separated and still be healed? Yes. Okay. Because it completely happened to me on that flight. There was no good reason for it. Like that woman, I didn't ask for spiritual reconciliation at that point with the Spirit of God. I didn't ask for it. I didn't expect it. And I sure as fuck I had not been doing good things before that, for years, a decade before that, had not been doing good things. I'd been always working for my own self-interest, and had taken that to a whole new level. Gallivanting the world with my flight benefits. So by no means was I asking for or worthy, shall we say, of spiritual healing.
Oh, interesting.
And yet it happened.
How long did you work for Continental?
For 2 years.
You were
just worked at Grand Rapids Operations. Yeah, GRR.
You were an attendant?
No, I did that too at one point earlier in my life for ATA. I was an attendant. I used to fly the Ireland and England routes and
that's pretty
Scotland
neat.
And stuff like that.
You've done it all.
I've done it all. I've kind of just done what I wanted to do, thanks to bipolar. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus Christ, for bipolar.
See,
because
you just bright-sided
as a result of that,
your
I've
mental
done
illness.
pretty much everything I've wanted to do. Thank you, Jesus.
That was Curtis, do you remember? Do you still remember the dance?
The dance. No.
Yeah,
the dance of
explaining to everybody where the seatbelts are, the exits are.
Sure, yeah. It's all video now. You don't even have to do it anymore. It's all on video.
Yep.
The video screen comes down. They don't have to do anything anymore.
Nope. One thing I just thought I haven't thought of in a long time was the rabbit. I had one of those lucky rabbit feet when I was young, but I just thought not so lucky for the rabbit.
Right. Yeah.
One less foot.
I sleep with my Bible under my pillow.
Do you really?
Yeah.
That's nice.
It's just kind of like a reminder, if that kind of put my focus into.
Or is it just extra support so you have a little firmness underneath the pillow?
Yeah.
Is it one of the
it's the King James version still.
Oh,
KJ.
So you're comforted by the royal decree
of
a vicious king.
I'm comforted by the fact that my grandmother got me that Bible when I was baptized.
So it's about your grandmother.
Yes.
This is an attachment to your grandmother, not to King James.
Yeah. It's great. And so it reminds me of love.
Nice.
Is it a soft cover?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
but not the love of King James, just so I'm clear, but the love of your grandmother, right?
Yes.
So the book is an object of her love.
Yeah, and my name is on gold
Yeah,
on the
that's-
cover.
of course.
And
It's
it survived the
nostalgic.
fire,
Yeah.
and so
Okay.
it's-
Survived the fire.
Yeah, it's important to me.
Going to bed to a King James story sounds frightening. I'd have nightmares.
Do you read that Bible?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really fucked up. Like the Revelations part completely screwed up my life for a good solid 10 years. I thought it meant something else, and it meant oh my god. Yeah.
What did you think it meant? Just out of curiosity.
The part where they say they're talking about in the 7
seals.
Yeah, this really.
Flying
once
goats.
I actually learned what it meant, I was like, "Son of a bitch!" But yeah, it was talking about whenever the 7, like one of them
Holy
were coming
Revelation,
down,
Batman.
Yes, and one of the people God had a problem with, according to King James Bible, the God had a problem with because they had left their first love. So I was thinking, well, God, I can't leave.
You're reading Romeo and Juliet. That's the problem.
I'm not. Am I?
Not the Bible.
I'm not. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I stuck by that. Like, tried to work it out with my first husband for God knows how long. And finally, at the very end, the pastor who married us was like, that means God's your first love.
Oh,
and I was like,
well, literally.
Oh,
Jesus.
God-man.
Yeah.
God-man.
Yeah, there you go.
And
yeah.
I felt really guilty, thinking that I was gonna. I don't know. It did. It fucked.
Wow.
It fucked
Yeah.
with
That's
my life.
really. Yeah.
So I can understand.
I'm confused.
Well, for anybody that has
I'll
any
read it to
question
you.
about, I just gave just a brief little testimony about how I was a selfish prick, during my during my 20s. I was able to get this just in from a very avid listener, Rich Kaiser, a friend of mine from Grand Rapids.
Oh, okay.
And this, I wonder if someone could read this for me. You just have to click the button here.
I can do
The
it.
very bottom one. This is Rich Kaiser. He knew me in the in the 90s. And read what he said.
The
You
90s.
were an ass before.
Yes.
Nice. Thank you, Rich.
It flipped off. It said,
Oh,
nope.
here, there you go.
It said, you were an ass before, laughing out loud. Interesting faith healer conversation.
Nice.
Irresistible
Thank you, Rich
grace.
Kaiser.
Thanks for backing me up, Rich.
No, he's right. Though. I appreciate that because he's absolutely right. Now you have proof that I was an ass from somebody that I used to play tennis with.
If anyone else wants to weigh in as what an asshole
Yeah, I mean-
Kurt was in the 90s, call in.
Take the next half hour.
Yeah.
Just
Google,
call
tweet,
in and
whatever.
give
Skype.
your story of how Kurt was an ass. You know?
I worked at the local McDonald's. He used to come in he was a jerk.
Yeah.
I was just ordering breakfast, dude. You don't even know me.
Yeah, that's right. You gotta start getting people.
Yeah, people will
calling
pile
in
on to that.
They will pile on.
Yeah.
But no, this guy has authority. Rich knew me. He knows I was an ass. I was a selfish prick.
Wow.
That's true. Thank you, Rich Kaiser. You're right. You're absolutely right, brother.
He messaged me on Facebook the other day and told me to keep you in line.
Oh,
Down
did he?
here- yeah, 'cause
Oh,
you were-
nice.
he's
Okay.
Working
Keep
the
him in
back
line.
He's working the
channels.
back channels for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
He admires you.
Very
So,
nice.
yeah.
Well, I admire him too. He's an intellectual. He's a paramedic.
Uh-huh.
He actually works just north of Grand Rapids in Rockford, Michigan, and he's a good guy. I always like talking with him. He's intellectual and interesting, and we don't agree on most anything, but we still love each other. So
that's good.
That's priceless.
Absolutely.
How did you and Brian meet? You guys friends?
Brian and I went to high school together, and
Okay.
then we just reconnected just in the last year.
That's
on
always
Facebook.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just the spiritual journey that we both had been on, there was obviously quite a lot of commonality, right out of the gate. So.
All right.
Richard Thomas, do we know if Chris is around? He was going to stop by around 10:30. Any word on that?
Well, give me just a moment, and I will go.
Yeah, let's go find out.
Yeah.
We'd love to
go do a little browsing.
We'd love to get his perspective on healing as well.
Buy
Possibly.
some stones. And water.
He may actually. I don't know if he was expecting a phone call.
I had to do the aha over again because I forgot to turn my mic on. But yes, he is pulling up right now.
Oh,
in the
very
back.
nice.
Just knock on the
Very nice. Okay.
Just knock on the wall.
Very nice. So, maybe we can get, Brian has been involved in some, some healing or at least some spiritual reconciliation ministry. I have with myself. It's never, I don't think, maybe it's worked a few times with people. I don't know.
What do you think about?
Nothing significant, but.
Sorry.
Well,
What do you think about the sage burning thing? I mean,
I don't know about it.
You don't?
Sage burning. No,
Fill
I
me
don't.
in.
Yeah.
Burning sage to take away bad energy.
I don't know anything about this. That's why we have Chris coming in. 'cause
Sounds
I
like
don't
the
know
devil
anything
to
about
me.
this.
Sounds like the devil to me.
Well, yeah.
Nice.
See, my great grandmother's full-blooded Cherokee, so I
Oh,
kind
okay,
of
right,
am
right,
turned
okay.
on,
Well-
by the whole. But yeah, you burn sage and you.
What is sage? It's in your food.
Brother
isn't it?
Chris. All right. Can we get Chris wired up here, Richard Thomas?
Wiring? I don't know.
We're gonna wire him up. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to have Chris on the couch here in just a moment. And Chris is one of our one of our business neighbors.
Yes.
But it feels even more personal than that, honestly. But he is a business neighbor. He owns the Looking
You have
Glass.
to wear a wire. We're sorry.
Yes.
We need you to take these guys down.
This conversation may be recorded for training purposes. Yes, actually, it will be recorded.
Don't let them find that wire.
Into perpetuity.
You'll be dead.
But Chris has been next door for, actually, we've not been here long, but Chris has been next door, 2329, right, Central Avenue. Has been next door for 5 years now. You smell good today. What are you wearing? You do.
You smell marvelous.
What is it? Adam Levine. Oh, nice. Yeah.
The voice.
I guess if that's what Adam Levine smells like, that's wonderful.
Move like Jagger. Move like Jagger right now.
Yeah. Very well. So we got them all wired up there, RT? All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We've been talking all morning about healing, and we watched a clip at the beginning of the day, or beginning of the broadcast, where a woman on Pat Robertson's network, of course, but claimed that she had had 15 years of we got a little bit of feedback here, Richard. Just tell us, what do you need?
Talking to the
Oh,
mic.
testing.
There we
mic.
go.
Okay, there we
Test,
sound
test,
good.
1, 2, 3.
Sounding
All
good.
right.
Very good. Good radio voice.
Nice voice.
Yes, indeed.
Good baritone.
Yeah. So, anyways, so this woman is healed. I mean, she's been 15 years with something they call suicide disease because the headache is so bad. It's not even a headache. It kind of just radiates into the front part of their head, and I mean, the light sensitivity is so intense that you just have to turn all the lights off and hide. And she was basically had quit her job as an engineer and hid for damn near 15 years to stop the pain, and it didn't work. I mean, she was still afflicted. So she goes to a faith healer. She's seen all the doctors. She goes to a faith healer and says, "Look, I'm at wit's end here. I'm kind of willing to try anything." Faith healer stands up and she's ready to bolt. Remember, her husband says, "Oh no, you are going up there." She's ready to bolt as soon as the shit's coming down. It's getting real.
And she grabs her head and face.
Yeah, right.
Like that.
Yeah, right. Drags her up there like Bill O'Reilly.
Caveman style.
Yeah. But anyway, so she goes up there and she says, I don't believe in any of this healing stuff. She tells the faith healer directly, which is not great. If you were like in an interview and you needed the healing to work, but you go up to your healer and say, "I don't really believe in any of this shit that you're talking about."
So what do you think of our company, by the way? Any questions about the company? Why does it suck so much?
Yeah, right.
You're not getting the job.
Yeah.
Sorry, next.
So she says, "I don't believe in any of this." And the faith healer handles it very well. She says, "Well, it's okay. It's not a big task to believe for you," and proceeds to heal her. And I think there was a consensus that this was real. I mean, just based on what we were witnessing.
The neurologist had diagnosed actually what she was feeling.
Yeah, there was a
something
medical diagnosis.
Radiation from her
it's
synapses.
called suicide disease only because the pain is so bad, people ultimately commit suicide to get away from it. They just can't bear the pain anymore. So anyways, that's kind of what we've been talking about, the healing side. And if I'm not mistaken, that is also on the front of your front glass.
That is on our building.
What does healing mean to you? Feel free to talk about the looking glass and what you do and what does healing mean.
Okay, cool.
And thanks for joining us, too. We appreciate you.
Thanks for having me. I've never met you two, so...
I'm sorry.
You don't want to.
I feel so rude. This is Mike, and this is Alyssa.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
Chris,
new
next
co-host.
door. You're next door, Chris.
Yes, sir. That's me. To me, I'll tell you, healing is really just about getting back to a state of peace.
Yeah.
Right? And that's really, in a nutshell, what it boils down to me.
Okay.
Is getting back to homeostasis, peace, whatever you want to call it, getting back to your natural state.
Okay.
Now, how you get there, it's like anything. If I give you a roadmap from here to Texas, and I say I'll meet you in El Paso, we're going to take some of the same roads,
Right.
but you're going to pull over and stop at different times than I would, and so on and so forth. So each person has their own journey to get there.
Sure, yeah.
But, as long as you get there, that's all that matters.
Right.
Really, that's what it is. What we do next door is we facilitate healing through relaxation, through energy work, right? Just like that faith healer.
Okay.
I do believe you can heal. I believe the
we
body
do too.
has the
We do
ability.
too.
That's why placebos work.
Yep.
Right? Otherwise, placebos wouldn't work.
Right.
But yeah, I do. I believe healing is something that we all can do,
Mhm.
and it's something that probably more of us need.
Yeah.
Not enough of us take time to heal.
Are there certain kind of pre-qualifications for a client that walks in? I mean, because you can have people of all different persuasions, of course. You have people with negative attitudes, positive attitudes. Is there any particular kind of pre-qualification that you need to effectively heal a client that walks in your door?
Honestly, no.
Does honesty help, though? It's interesting you said honestly no. Do they need to be honest with you about where they're at spiritually, or can you deduce that yourself?
Some of our best clients are skeptics.
Yeah?
The people that walk in and go, I don't believe in any of this shit. It's junk. It's crap.
Yeah.
You're trying to, how much is this going to cost me?
Like the lady said.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This- How
Get your
much is
hands off
this?
me.
Is this my
Exactly.
retirement money?
Oh,
that kind of
jeez.
thing.
They're giving you a hard time.
Yeah. Some of
Yeah.
our best clients are actually skeptics.
Yeah.
The ones that come in that want to be their own doctor tend to have a hard time healing.
Okay, interesting.
Because they're trying to micromanage everything.
Yeah.
And that's fear-based. So then they won't heal because they don't believe they will.
Interesting.
They're so afraid they won't heal, they never do.
So that might be one attribute that's kind of a pre-qualification is you got to set aside the old way of thinking at least the clinical
be
way of
open
thinking.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we have people say, and sorry about my voice being a little scratchy, anytime I wake up and I had kombucha trying to heal my gut.
Nice,
right?
nice.
Speaking of healing,
Yes,
right? It
yeah,
does
there you
make
go.
my voice a little,
Nice, very nice.
raspy. But
Yeah,
one
sounds good.
of the qualifications is I surrender to heal.
Okay.
Right, and that's one of the things that they must agree to before we'll work on them.
Okay.
Is that they surrender to be open to something different.
Yeah.
Whether it works or not, who cares, right? But if you don't at least try it, you'll never know.
Right.
And so as long as they surrender, I'll work on it.
Surrender is such a powerful word, though. I mean, we talk about it across the spiritual spectrum. It's die to yourself or surrender in a moment or something like that. You've said before, there actually was a former staff member of the organization that you said you had kind of an aura. about,
Yes.
and you sense that person was disingenuous for a number of reasons.
Correct.
If you sense, or first off, can you sense kind of an aura when a client walks in before they ever even open their mouth?
Yes, sir.
You can. Okay, so does that aura then get in the way, if it's perhaps a disingenuous aura, like the gentleman that we know of, does that get in the way of healing?
It does, yes.
Okay.
The negativity and the positivity that you mentioned earlier does, I believe, play a role in it.
Okay.
If you're super negative and the world's shit and everything's, the world's, oh my God, I hate the world.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to work for you because you're so miserable inside that there's nothing to build upon.
Now, you did say that some of your best clients are your greatest skeptics, and they're the ones that tell you how much their 401k is coming down every time that they're making a payment.
Yeah,
in fact, they're probably using their investment card to make the payment. Does it work on those people? They're highly skeptical. They seem kind of negative.
The precursor is hope.
Okay.
Hope. Right?
Everybody wants that.
Yes, they still have to believe that it's possible to heal.
Okay.
But if you come in and you go, I'm never going to heal, this is wrong, I can't believe you're doing this, this is prophecy, or the devil worshiper, that kind of thing.
Yeah, jeez. Pull the D card.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
D card.
But as long as they're positive, there's no reason it won't.
Okay.
I'm curious. Why would a skeptic come in? Did they have a family member drag them in, or did they just
like
usually
the young lady that you'd mentioned earlier? They tried everything else.
Gotcha.
And they finally had just surrendered to heal.
Gotcha.
Right?
Plus,
where they tried something different.
Don't they want some personal attention though too? I even like getting my hair cut because they're touching my head,
Yeah,
massaging
that's part of it.
my head.
Absolutely.
Is there touch involved? Do you touch people?
We do. We
Okay.
do. The only two places we're going to touch someone is their
Are
shoulders.
their genitals and where else?
Or their, well, usually top and bottom.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, you
I'm
have to
sorry.
stay with me,
That was very
right?
disrespectful to your business.
Oh, no, never,
I'm
never,
joking.
never.
Good. Yeah.
I've worked hard to be a safe male healer, so
Yeah.
I only touch the shoulders or the feet.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. I believe that's the only two places
Sure.
that you need to touch. As
Yeah.
a matter of fact, it's in Scripture. You know what I mean? You don't even need to touch.
Right. Right.
And that's I guess it is a little bit of a personal attention.
Yeah, so I wonder if, and this woman wanted some attention brought on her with all of her pain too. So the people that walk in the door, Mike, I'm just thinking, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking these are people that just kind of they might even be starved for affection.
Agreed.
And maybe the placebo is what they should be getting in the real world, which is just, love and affection that they're not fucking getting.
Well, they say even, and I had to go to the emergency room about 4 years ago for something, and there were, I'm a writer, so I'm constantly observing.
By the way, Mike, are you a writer?
Yeah. If I haven't said it yet in the however many hours we've been on air, I'm a writer, just to let you know. And I've heard about this, and then there's a lot. The emergency room is packed with people who are looking for someone to care about them.
Yeah, very true.
And I saw it. I witnessed it. I said, wow, it's true. I'd always heard it, and it's true.
You've grown into a very successful franchise over there. A lot of repeat business, right?
Thank you, yes, sir.
Yes, indeed. And you are. I mean, I can see why people would come to you. I still need to make an appointment because you're such a personable guy.
Yeah, well, thank
you're very warm and welcoming, and just your energy is
throat
incredible.
scratchy. I like that.
Oh, that's kind of sexy. Yeah, that is kind of
like,
sexy.
Hey,
yeah.
how you doing, right?
For sure. What kind of qualification? Now, you essentially are a healer, right? That's what part of what you do.
That is part of what
How
I
do
do.
you, how does one qualify as a healer? Because you know that there is so much pain out in the world right now, and not that we're going to solve the world's problems on the show today, but
maybe.
But well, yeah,
We'll
maybe.
work on it.
We'll work on it. That's right. Between the two of us, teamed up, right?
We'll put our heads together.
But if there's so much pain, and so much suffering, people are wondering, what does it take, to be healed? And so I guess my question is, what does it take to be qualified to be a healer? What does that take?
Truth is nothing.
Okay.
Right? Everyone.
But there's
is a
something about
natural
you that people
healer.
come to you. What is it that they come to you for?
Well, I'll tell you this. I believe it's love. Right?
Yeah.
And love to me is time.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what it really boils down to.
Yeah.
Taking the time to talk to somebody. That's why counseling and things like this are so effective.
Right.
And changing the mindset of somebody, because really all they're giving them is love.
Right.
Time. They're taking the time to talk to them.
Yeah.
And care what they respond to. Care to how they feel, truthfully. For example, there's a gentleman outside the window.
Okay.
Right?
Richard Thomas, I don't know that he'd want to be on camera, but...
Right? Okay, well, no worries,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
He's healed, I think.
He definitely needs a little bit of healing.
Okay. All right, very good.
He said,
Here's-
okay.
He wants some.
He needs some
some
sexual healing.
He wants
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
some
Now-
bonky bonk. Some bonky bonk.
With that
what we
said,
call it. I call
right? He is also a healer.
Okay.
Ah.
Very nice.
Despite being
No, doctors get
wounded,
sick.
right? He is
Yeah.
also a healer.
Okay.
Everyone's capable of it. You don't need any certain degree. You don't need to go to schools like Barbara Brennan and spend your $50,000-$60,000
Wow.
a year,
Right, yeah.
to become a healer. Everyone has it. It's just a matter of belief. You know, you do believe that you're capable of great things.
No, I totally get the love part. You know, building up the rapport. You know, that's why you have such incredible success with repeat customers, because you've built up the rapport and they feel that love. But isn't there also just kind of a concentrated moment where when you're touching shoulders and feet, where you actually see a transformation take place in a very concentrated moment?
Yes, sir.
Talk about that. What is that like?
Okay, me personally, and I can only speak for myself. My wife is also, does the same thing.
Her name is Sarah, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep,
yeah.
Sarah. She hears things. For example, I see things.
Okay.
So if I was to touch your shoulders, I would see images. I would see colors, and we usually talk about those after, right? And what I see personally is when everything goes to purplish pink.
Okay.
Right, that's when I know it's worked.
Yeah.
That's when I know you got it.
Yeah.
You know, and we did some work on Richard and his wife, which I hope they don't
Okay.
mind me saying so yesterday.
No, of course they don't.
With crystals.
Right.
Right, and when I stopped, it only took a few minutes. It doesn't take forever. It's not like a million-hour process where you have to go 100 hours a week kind
Sure.
of thing, like therapy or something else.
Yeah, that's
But
for sure.
I put my hands on them on a crystal for maybe 2 minutes, and once I saw all pinkish purple, I was done.
Okay.
And that's it. So for me personally, when I see those colors, I know that they got what they need.
Do you work together as a team then? She's kind of, or do you sometimes work alone, or?
Both.
Both? Okay. Okay.
Her energy is softer than mine. You know, I'm a little rough around the edges, to be quite honest. you know.
Okay.
She's much more loving than I am.
Right.
You know, by far, I love her. For
Really?
that.
Okay.
Oh, by
I could
far.
tell you love her.
She has.
Well, I mean, this guy's full of love, though.
Yeah,
so hard
I
to
can
believe
tell.
somebody's more loving than him. But anyways,
no,
okay.
she definitely is.
Well, that's quite a testimony
Chris,
for
I beg to
Sarah.
differ
She's got amazing
there.
energy.
Yeah, Chris, I beg to differ there.
Oh.
I know you.
He's taking sides.
I know you personally, and for you to say that your wife's a more loving person than you are, no, you are a very caring and giving person.
Maybe they're
Thank
equal.
you
Can
so
we
much.
just agree that they're equal?
Yeah,
and
there you go. That's just
Fair
settle
enough.
it.
Can we all just
say
get
that.
along here?
I love it.
Yeah.
But
What's
awesome.
your love rating? Your lovable rating?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you do children as well?
We do, and pets.
Okay, because that's interesting. You talked about touching the shoulders. My son being autistic, one of the therapies is that he goes in and they mess with his shoulders and massage. That's what it kind of struck me when you said you touch shoulders and
In feet, it's meridians in your body. If you believe in chakras and energy centers that each person has in their body, these are two major meridians, right? And they kind of, that's why they say, get a hold of the neck and you control the body,
Yeah.
right? And essentially that's what you're doing, is you're running energy up through, right? And also down. CNS, the central nervous system, etc. But that's a huge position for your meridian.
Now, chiropractors say that too. They say that that's a major area. Is there a combination of science with kind of the faith healing, where there's a lot of stress that people hold in that area too? Is there intermingling of that?
There is, and
Okay.
part of it's mental. For example, anyone with shoulder issues puts the weight of the world on their shoulders. They're
Yeah.
atlas basically,
Yeah.
for lack of a better word. So you do talk about the mental, right? I love autistic children, right? Thank you for having one and for your patience, right? Because I know it's not easy at times. But no, I do. I love children very, very much. And you combine everything. It's
Yeah.
not just you walk in and, like the evangelist, you're healed. you
Right,
know?
exactly,
Praise
yeah.
Jesus, you know what I
Right.
mean? Yeah. It doesn't work like that necessarily. It's
Right.
a combination of both the mental, right, emotional, physical, right, and spiritual beliefs. And you just kind of walk them through it as you go. Because you need to find the root of any affliction in order to heal it.
Yeah.
Right? What caused it to begin with? Cancer is all emotional, for example.
Yeah.
So everyone that you see with cancer is sad inside.
Yeah.
Right? They have these emotions that they bottle up for so long. So in order to beat cancer, in my mind, we have to talk about those emotions that created the affliction to begin with.
Okay.
stress.
And, and what and the lack of love.
Yep.
Right? And why they feel the need to punish themselves for not feeling worthy of it.
Okay.
Right?
So there's some
it-
psychology involved
Yeah,
there too.
what's-
Yeah.
yes.
What is your educational background, if you don't mind my asking?
No, not
Oh,
at
here
all.
goes the interview.
I do have a degree in psychology. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was leading to.
I studied social work for a while, so I have worked
Okay.
with some children that special needs, you would say. You know,
Yeah.
I call them bright lights.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, the brighter the light, the better they are, in my opinion. But yeah, I do. I have a degree in psychology.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I by no means do I want to trivialize
No,
by
please.
talking
Please, I
about
want to
this.
be open and
What
honest with
what is it?
everything.
I guess I want to get as close to what it feels like in your office as we can in the studio. For example, if we can start with. Did you feel any particular auras? I just want to know you. I want to know what you do. Did you feel any particular auras at any point that you walked into the building or into the studio or amongst any of us? I mean, I think we're all open.
In general?
Just this morning when you came. I know you were kind of rushing to the back door there, but
no worries.
Yeah,
I'm slamming kombucha and
Very
running.
nice.
Okay, in general this morning you mean, right?
Yeah, just as you walked in this morning.
This morning
yes.
it actually feels pretty good.
Yeah. So when you say that would be more in association with a pink or a purple, because you're a visual guy, right?
Yeah, and I see with my eyes closed.
Okay.
Today your color is blue.
And blue?
Well, here's
oh,
blue.
in general. Okay.
Blue.
Okay.
What does blue mean?
Blue is about protection. It's about emotions, and I'm not surprised either. It's also throat chakra, right? So that's all you guys do is talk.
That's
so
true.
Your throat chakra
Throat
is
chopper?
Throat
Chop-
chopper.
chop-
Yeah.
Don't chop my
No,
head.
tripping, no trivializing.
But no. With that said, it's all about communication. Blue is all about
Blue is
emotions and communicating your emotions.
Yeah.
And this is a very good vessel for that. I mean, the three of you have a very good synergy. You work well together.
Yeah, indeed.
Right?
Thank you.
And it's
Yep.
nice to have a lady here because she
Of course.
balances out the
Yeah.
masculine.
This is not just
Right?
any lady here
We
either.
think
This
so.
is-
We think so.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, it's definitely nice.
It gets very emotionally intense in here too, though. I mean,
Yes.
there's a lot of I think you've heard some of it out front there at times. So that intensity, would that change the color likely if there starts to
It
get
does.
passion
if
or
it becomes
anger?
yeah. it turns to red.
Okay.
Most likely.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Reddish orange usually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Is that bad? Like, is it a bad thing to feel?
Oh, that's a
I
good
don't
question.
think so. I believe in righteous anger. You know
Oh,
what
yeah,
I mean?
too,
If,
yeah. Yeah.
I'm nice. I'm loving. You know,
Yeah.
until there's a time not to be.
Sure.
Does that make
I
sense?
totally
Yeah,
agree with
if I
you.
threw coffee at you right now.
Yeah, or if you threw your table
now
over
here's
right
what's
now,
funny.
like
you
Christ.
could punch me in the face, right? And I wouldn't be angry.
Right.
I would ask you what the hell's wrong with you.
Ah,
right? I'd
a
say,
little
what's
flip it
going on with
back.
you? Why are you so mad? Come sit down. Let's have a little chat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You must
Right?
have
You would
read
make
the
a
you must have read the
difference.
bully.
You need to go sit down and have a little chat right now, Mike?
He
You
was
must have
angry inside, right?
Is
That
it-
I picked up from the
the
first
bully.
day
What's
you
it?
were
The bully.
here.
What's it called? The bully.
Mike, can you go sit over there on the couch?
Yes.
here? Seriously.
He doesn't have to.
Please.
No, he
No?
doesn't have to. Here's what I would like to
Aw,
offer him,
man.
though.
Oh, yes, yes.
You guys said you want to get as close to
Yes.
what I do as possible.
Bring us into your office,
right?
yeah.
I would love to give one of y'all a session.
Yeah.
Take about 2 minutes, right?
Who wants
Do
to,
it.
who wants to do
You want
it?
to be the guinea pig?
You want to do it, Mike?
I'm not going to push you. I'll take
I'll
you
do
as far
it.
as you
No.
want to go,
I'm
right?
all about
so
it.
I won't push you to a limit, the place that you're not willing to
Mike,
go
you're,
to.
you're like the mystery figure right now, though.
I know.
Right.
It's
So
like,
every-
he's
everybody-
like, no.
Now,
Everybody
here's
wants
suddenly,
everybody wants you.
Yeah, I'm suddenly.
I did hit the hot button, right?
What do you think, Mike? I mean,
You
don't-
worried he knows something?
You don't have to do it.
You're not packing.
You don't
today.
have to do it. No, I'm not packing today.
I
No.
love it.
Yes or no? Because we got to do somebody in the next
What?
few minutes here.
No, I don't. Not today.
Mike is
Not
declining.
today. I'm
Okay.
declining.
Well,
All right.
we'll do the analysis on that later. As declining.
Okay. Now,
Okay.
as we, you're more than welcome. I can come to you if you want.
Oh yeah,
Pull
go
this
go
off.
go right over there.
No,
Richard,
I don't mind.
can you get them both on the couch over there? All right. Here comes Alyssa.
All right.
She has volunteered,
You're gonna have more
All right.
fun
which
with
is
her anyway.
which is a virtue. I think
right.
we would have more fun with you.
Okay. Now, I'm going to take this mic off for just a moment.
Absolutely. Yes.
Right. Excuse me.
Listen,
All
I
right,
just gotta
Richard,
get out of behind that
may I
desk.
place this over here on the floor? Yeah. Can I set this down for just a moment? Okay. All right.
Do you-
So here's what we need. Okay. I'd like to touch your shoulders, and I'd like to stand behind you and do it, or at least as close as I can, only for me to be comfortable. It's not because it doesn't facilitate any more healing or anything else. It's just because I need to be comfy if I'm going to be standing here for a minute, right?
Okay.
So if it's possible, could I have you sit with your bottom here, and the other side of it? Yeah. Yeah, we'll try that.
Is that okay? Will that interfere if you're on the other side?
No, sir.
Okay.
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 perfect. Now I'm really comfy. Right. All right.
Nice.
Here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to touch your shoulders if I may. What you want to look for is heat, right, in my hands. Tingling, right? Now feel my hands now. Are they hot, super hot or anything? Okay, right on. What you want to look for is heat in my hands, right? Tingling in your extremities, right? Now during this process, you will need to have both feet as close to the floor as possible.
Okay.
Right? And you will need to have your hands either up or down, right? On your legs, knees, wherever's comfy. Make yourself at home. It doesn't matter the distance, right? If it's okay with you, I'm going to touch your shoulders, right? And I may actually be able to stand right here. Would that work? Is that okay with you?
Would that work, Richard? Can he stand behind her?
Just be careful though.
I will. I'll cover my bottom, but may I stand right here?
He's got equipment back there is the issue.
Yeah, just be
I
mindful.
I think that'll be okay. That should be okay.
I'm
Yeah.
very careful.
I think we can still get it.
Be mindful of the cables.
Yes, sir. I got you.
Yeah, I know you can.
Okay. No worries, I promise. Okay. So again, right? Up or down, you want to relax, right? So if I make it, I have you lean back just a little bit. All right. Just totally relax. During this time, I want you to close your eyes, right? And just relax. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, right? And completely just relax. May I touch your shoulders?
Yes.
I usually pray during this time. Is it okay to say my prayers?
Absolutely.
out loud?
Please do.
Okay. Dear God, I ask for the white letter protection to guard and surround us. Okay, I see Saturn, which means you're governed by a lot of rules. Typically, if these aren't universal, these are rules you place on yourself. So you're confined in many ways, right? I do see lots of pink with you, right? Which is a good sign, which means you're doing a lot of healing, right? Again, in through your nose, out through your mouth if you can, right? I see green, which is love. You got lots of love in your heart. You don't always give it. Right? There's a few heart guards up there, heart walls, whatever you want to call it. May I be candid with you?
We're on camera, man,
Oh,
but go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, go ahead. You can.
Okay,
You got
fair
it.
enough. There's some yellow here, right?
Uh-huh.
Self-esteem, self-confidence.
Yeah.
So you're working on building that up further.
Yep.
Would that be?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah, no. I could have told you. Yeah.
No
Yeah,
worries.
you're right on
no,
there.
No, I don't. This is your business, and you're right. We're on camera. But yeah, I'll give you whatever I get. Yeah, I see a bird, right? A white bird, which would usually be like peace, things like that. But it was more like a seagull, which is covering your heart chakra, which keeps you safe. So you're safe during love, and that's something you need to know right now. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like the more you love, the safer you will be safe during that time. Okay? Are my hands warm, any tingling in your extremities, anything like that so far? No? Okay. Do me a favor. Put your hands, right, on either your knees or your legs. Now, you can pull them back if you want to, but we don't want to block any chakras, any energy centers in your body. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Pull my hands back?
No, you can put whatever's comfy, right, whatever's for you. No worries. We just don't want to. Well, we don't want to block anything. Again, here we go. I'll tell you what. For sake of the comfort, I'm going to do this shoulder more. Are you cool with that?
Yep. Okay, you're getting, like, it is warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
Takes a second. Well, I was uncomfy. I'm like all jacked up in a corner. That's why I said let me get comfortable. The only reason that
Yeah.
Warming up.
I don't see a hand warmer. It's real, so.
No, I'm starting to sweat too, which is how I know energy's flowing. It's different. It really is. Okay? As simple as that. Now feel my hands.
Yeah.
Are they
They
warmer?
are. Yeah. No, I'm not just. I'm really
Nowhere.
not saying that.
No. I mean, I'm starting to sweat. I mean, you guys
Yeah.
tell me. I mean, they're not hot, like normally, right?
Not hot.
But,
Right. Yeah. Yep.
but
Indeed.
what she needed was softer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's, well, may I ask you a personal question?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
You're not.
Can we get the
I'm
mic
not
back
shy.
to you or no? Wherever that is.
I'm not shy. So.
Do you, and we're good. Yeah. You're more than welcome if you want to jump around, because I don't know if you're going to be on camera or not.
No, you're good. We're going to go to break in a few minutes
Okay,
anyway,
cool.
so.
But here's the deal. Would you say you're harder on yourself?
Yeah.
A little bit or no?
No, I'm hard on.
Okay.
Yeah.
What we give you what you need, not what you want.
Right.
And that's what I believe God does.
Yes.
Which is why when you pray for things so many times and then you never get them, and later on you look back and go, "Thank God I never got that."
Yeah.
Right. She needs a little softer energy.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Now, if you look on my brow, I should be starting to. I'm hot. I
Yeah.
can feel myself.
Yeah.
Right. It should look glossy at this point. Right.
Mm-hmm.
She got a nice, soft, even dose. Now he'd probably get lit up. Now the reason I say that is because we would go back, right? But long story short, it's about being softer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Being kinder to yourself.
Yeah.
There's lots of pink around this lady, which means she's a tremendous healer on her own.
Yes.
If you were ever harmed, which she knows, and she touches you, it feels better, because everyone's a natural healer.
Sure.
She is definitely that, right? And in this place, it's like my wife, brings a nice balance to the masculine healing energy that everyone emits here. But beautiful soul, thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I mean, I'm going to get more from this, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm
Kurt's
gonna-
enjoying this.
I'm going to get more from this just watching this in archive. I mean, because, of course, when you're on camera, there's a lot more intensity.
Hey,
but
you're back.
I'm going to go back and watch this later on. But
I would invite you over.
yeah, I would
Take 10 minutes. We'll put you in
Absolutely.
the chair and give you a session so you can actually see it. And see, make
What's your
up
schedule
own.
like after 12 today?
Come on over.
Yeah, I'll stop
Yes,
over. I
please.
will.
It would be my pleasure.
Sounds interesting.
Any one of you, that includes the staff here as well, that we don't always see on camera.
See, there are fringe
But,
benefits at Shock Therapy
Yeah.
Radio.
But no, I'd love to. And this way you can
Medical.
try it for yourself and see if
Yeah.
you like
Benefits.
it.
Yeah.
It's like anything. You know, I can't promise you anything
Of course
because
not,
it's
right.
not me doing the healing. You
Right.
know, I believe in God, and I believe God and the angels do everything.
Right,
But
right.
with that said, yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah.
Just so you can experience it.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
someone like her, I would actually usually put with my wife.
Yep.
Someone is soft. Soft meets soft.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If there's one takeaway from the show today, and we appreciate you coming in on a
No,
short
thank you
notice
for
because I
having me.
contacted you very late last night, and Chris is a sport. He's here. But if there's anything that the viewers are watching right now, and I'm just looking past you to the camera right now,
Yeah.
Chris, but if there's anything, it is that this is a warm and genuine guy who will love you, if not more. I mean, we talk about the healing properties in various things that can happen over the course of a relationship and the rapport that he clearly builds with people. Let this just be a phenomenal plug for the Looking Glass next door at 2329 Central. You've been
Thank
there
you.
for 5 years now.
Yes, sir.
And it's on the grow, and we'll do everything in our power. In fact, I've heard that you are considering doing your own little format, too. Is that true?
Yeah, I want to do
we would
once
love
a week.
that.
Yeah, once a week. I want to teach people how to
Yes,
heal.
yes.
Yeah, that's really what I'm
I hope
after.
you do that.
No,
And
I've
Richard,
already banked
hook
on
this
it.
guy up.
Yeah.
I hope that you do that. So,
No, I definitely will.
Chris, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you,
Thank you
as a
also.
person
Appreciate it.
and,
Thank
and
you so
as
much.
a
Thank you
corporate
for
neighbor
having
as
me.
well. So,
Yeah.
all right, Richard, let's take us to break. We are going to be coming back in just a minute. We are going to be playing Twister in this
It's
studio.
just getting wackier.
We've got to move.
What next?
A lot of people, they look at healing as this religious process where they get you to contort in all different to get healing. The things that religion makes you do to get healed is quite a long laundry list. So Richard Thomas has a list of Joel Osteen's wife's 40 top principles,
Victoria,
for how to be healed, and it's going to manifest in a Twister game. We'll be back after the break. Thank you so much, Chris.
Thanks for having me.
Still a whisper on my lips, feeling at my fingertips, pulling at my skin. Leave me when I'm at my worst, feeling as if I've been cursed with a cold living. Days go by and still I think of you. Days when I couldn't live my life without you. Days go by and still I think of you. Days when I couldn't live my life without you. couldn't live my life without you. Without you.
All right, we're back. Can you hear me okay, Richard T?
Yeah.
All righty, so what we are going to do today, as you know, the healing process can be a very convoluted process. Religion will ask you to move this way, that way, 2 steps to the left, 3 steps to the right. Am I still good on audio? I'm not hearing it. Okay, so we are going to simulate what the healing experience is like through lens. Now, we happen to have a God voice in the producer's box, so that's perfect. And he actually has, it's even more perfect because Joel Osteen's wife, Dottie, has 40 different principles for how you can be healed. And so God is going to read Dottie's 40 principles as he's calling out the steps that we're going to make here. Okay? So, and of course, you don't want to fall down in religion. So, if you fall down, of course, you're condemned and you're shamed. And there's a lot of other things that happen to you. You do not want to fall down in this game of religion and healing. If you fall down, the consequences could be quite serious. The rules are, if a participant falls down once, you have to do a random act of kindness.
Oh, God.
If you fall down twice, you must make one confession before everyone. And if there's a winner, we must sing the praise of the winner, okay? And a 2-time winner, we must bow down to the winner. This is all very religious, okay? So that is the rules. The main thing is don't fall down. If there's anything you've ever learned from religion, you've learned if you fall down, you're fucked. Because at that point, you are condemned, and it's all over from there. So without further ado, we're going to run a couple rounds of this here. And Richard, I'm going to give you the...
yeah, I'm ready.
The principles here that Dottie Osteen has been good enough to give us.
And thank you very much. It will be my pleasure to do it for you.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so starting with that one.
Osteen's, Robertson's.
All right, so game on. If you want to be healed, you got to follow the voice of God.
Who wants some?
Yeah, this is going to be intense.
I should have got a pedicure.
Yeah, well, I don't think the camera can get that. Yeah, maybe I can. It is going to see your lack of pedicure. All right. So we are ready, God. Tell us how to be healed.
Well, the first scripture is from Proverbs 4:20 through 22 out of the New King James Version.
Oh, my. Okay.
It says, "The God will save your life.
Oh,
my son, give attention to my words. Incline your ear to my sayings. Do not let them depart from your eyes. Keep them in the midst of your heart.
Okay.
For they are life to those who find them.
Okay, God,
and
we'll give it a
health
shot.
to all their flesh.
We'll give it a shot, God. All right. So what is the first step to healing?
Well, the first step is what does that mean?
Hey,
Yeah.
respin.
That's what that means.
Skip the purple. So
Okay, no purple.
Come on,
All
Vanna.
So what we got? Well, Vanna. All right, we have red.
Red
Find
what?
us-
Yeah, left hand.
Oh, red left hand.
All right, God. You got to
I
get the.
have some
You got to get this down, God.
So
All
how
right,
do we? I forgot how it's spelled. Y'all.
You just, everybody
It
has
has been
to.
a long time.
Everybody has to find.
Is our knee allowed?
What is falling
Okay.
down? You have to. You kneel.
Falling down. You'll see what falling
Okay,
down is.
you
Yeah.
go down.
Yeah, you'll go
You're down.
Yes. Okay, so everybody has a
Like
left
I've
hand
fallen,
on
I can't
red
get up.
and nothing else. You don't get your hand
Oh.
off yellow.
Oh,
Okay.
right, right, I see.
All right, God.
Right.
Tell us what is the next principle
Well,
for being healed.
The next principle comes from the book of Josh 21:45.
I should have stretched.
Okay.
New King James Version.
Okay.
It says, God's word will not fail.
Oh.
Not a word failed of any good thing which the Lord had spoken to the house of Israel. All came to pass.
Wow. Okay, God. Well, what's the second thing we need to do to be healed then?
Well, you need to put your hand on the right foot on yellow.
Okay,
Right
which
foot.
hand though?
Oh, the right foot.
Right foot.
Oh, right foot on
Right
yellow.
foot.
Can I
on
change
yellow.
my red hand? But,
No,
oh,
you
man,
cannot.
I'm like gonna be putting
Okay,
my
all of your wonderful
ass in your face.
flexibility.
Yeah, Mike.
hold
I'm
true.
sorry.
Okay.
I'm gonna be putting my ass in your face. I'm
Well,
not-
do you want to lose already then?
No.
Okay.
It's all right. I
You
can
gotta
handle it.
Fight through it.
You have jeans on.
Sorry.
Okay, so it's right foot
You're
on
fine.
yellow. Is that right,
Yes, absolutely.
God? Okay, we have right foot on yellow. Everybody is on yellow. Okay.
Yep.
What is the third principle, God?
Good stretch.
Third principle comes from, is that the book of Philip, right? I believe 2:13 New King James
Read
Version.
faster, God.
God's will, healing, is working in you. For it
I
is
can
God
feel
who
it.
works in you both to will and to do for his good pleasure.
I'm feeling something. It might be
Yeah.
a muscle burn. Okay, what is the
All
next?
right, and I have your next.
What is the
order
next one,
is to
God?
put your left hand on a green.
Oh, okay, so
this-
that might help us.
Oh, that's stretching my flexor out.
That might help. See if I can. Okay. All right.
Oh,
I'm
these
gonna
got
go
curved. You're going down.
All right.
You're going down.
All right. The next one comes from the book of Romans 8:11 New King
Okay,
James
quickly,
Version.
God. What is the fourth principle?
Fourth principle is the spirit of life is making your body alive.
Okay.
But if the spirit of him who raised Jesus from the dead dwells in you,
Okay,
then
he does.
he who raised Christ from the dead will also give life to your mortal bodies.
Well, it
through
feels very mortal.
His spirit who dwells in you, and the next position you will
I'll
have
tell you
to
what, God.
follow.
I'm so close to mortality right now in this position.
Absolutely. Well, let's find
So what
your
is the
left
fifth?
foot on a blue.
Oh no. Okay.
There we go. If I go down, you're all going down.
Okay, just a second.
She'll take you all with her.
Oh my
That's the
gosh.
spirit.
Sorry if I'm
Yeah, that's the
mooning
spirit. Okay.
anybody.
All right, God.
All right.
Quickly on number
Next
5.
one is from 2 Corinthians
All right.
1:20, New King James Version. Says,
Quicker, God.
is
You
for-
wrote it. You should know it.
Yes. God is for you. For all the promises of God in him are yes, and in him amen. To the
All right.
glory of God through us.
Yes,
and
yes,
to the
yes. What
glory
is
of
number
your
6?
next position
Yes.
will be.
Yes.
Wait.
Quickly.
Wait. Oh, man. Oh, wow. I guess I see you want to sit for a little longer.
God,
Hold a
shut
moment.
up!
Oh, yeah, I keep on getting on the respin. All right, we need to find our right hand on a blue.
Oh,
I'm
my
done.
God. That didn't help. I can be done.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh,
This
you're
is bad.
So
You've got me.
You're
I'm
Act
down.
of kindness.
All right. All right.
Help
Mike?
me. Help me.
Okay, everybody can get up
Sorry,
because I
Michael,
lost.
put my-
No, I'm kidding. I'm talking to his random out.
Everybody can get up because I lost that
Oh.
round.
Okay.
I have to do a random act of kindness. So, Mike, I'm going to give you a hug
All right.
with my dislocated shoulder.
Am I now my dislocated leg?
Oh my God!
You got hurt at work.
I was like this.
Oh
Did you
my
see
God!
the
What are you
position I
putting
was
us
in?
through? Yeah.
I was a lotus.
Get
That is
to the point,
incredible.
God.
We're gonna
Get
need
to the
God. We're
point,
gonna need a
God.
real healing here in just a minute.
Yeah, I'm like,
I'm seriously gonna go see Chris when this is done. I don't know if he does anything. He said he does shoulders, right?
They
Yeah.
remain
That's good.
shoulders.
All right, God. We're ready for another round because I do want to be healed, and I
And I
failed.
want you to be healed.
Yeah.
I know you do, God.
well, you fell down. That's because you
I
didn't
fell down,
believe.
and I feel shamed and I feel condemned right now,
You
as I
should.
should, as I should.
How did the
should.
random act of kindness help?
It really didn't. I
Didn't
was supposed to
cancel.
clear my conscience and everything, but
No. I felt good
I
to
mean,
me.
you felt good.
Yeah, I got
but,
it.
but
I was the receiver.
other than that, I still feel
It
very
didn't-
condemned and very shamed. I feel like I got to win this goddamn game. So God, let's get it going again. Let's
Win
go.
for
it didn't
healing.
affect me at all, so
Wow.
I don't care.
Seriously. I'm going to need some healing after this. All right, God.
All right.
Give us the next principle for how.
Move it along,
now I
God.
need some real healing in
You
my
created
left
the world
shoulder.
in 7 days. We can do this quick.
Well, the next one comes from the book of Matthew,
Okay.
8:2-3, New King James
All
Version.
right, Matt.
Says, "It is God's will for you to be healed. And behold,
That's
a
good.
leopard came and worshipped him, saying, Lord, if you are willing,
Leper.
you can make me clean."
Okay.
Then Jesus put his hand,
I showered today, by the way.
hand and touched him, saying, "I am willing, be cleansed."
Okay.
Immediately his leprosy was cleansed.
All right. Well, then what is the principle for, although I did shower this morning, what is the principle?
Well, the principle is to find your right foot on a red.
Right foot I can deal with. Okay. All right.
I'm going in the middle
That I
again.
can deal with, God. That one doesn't seem too bad. I'd get healed for that one.
That blister's from wearing flippers swimming, by the way. It's not
All right,
like
God.
it's weird.
I feel like there's more you could tell us here. What is the next principle?
The next
Reveal
principle
more.
is
Feels
from
like
the
there's
book
more.
of Exodus 15,
That's an old one.
26.
Okay.
New King James Version says,
What'd you say on
"Obey
the mountain?"
God's word and be healed," and said, "If you diligently heed the voice of the Lord your God and do what is right in his sight,
Okay.
give ear to his commandments and keep all his statutes, I will put none of the diseases on you."
Oh, good.
Which I
I've always I've always wanted to be disease free. That's awesome.
For I am the Lord who heals you.
Okay.
With that being said, do
What is
ye
that?
this next move.
Do ye? I like
Yes.
that. Nice.
Find ye right foot on a yellow spot.
Oh, we're doing good so far. This I can
This
do,
is
God.
easy. This is nothing, God.
This seems more like grace than Old Testament right now. God, you are generous right now. Thank you.
Yes.
You are generous
Our
indeed.
spiritual ducks are in a row.
Hallowed be your name. All right, God. I feel like there's more that you're
Yeah, I
not
feel
telling
like
us.
it's going to
There
get
is.
tougher.
It's got to.
This
It has
also
to.
comes from the book of Exodus 23,
Okay.
25. "Serve the Lord, and healing will be yours. So
Okay.
you shall serve the Lord your God, and he will bless your bread and your water, and I will take sickness away from the midst of you."
My wife's telling me to cut back on bread, but that's all right,
Well,
God.
let me
I'll
give
go
you a
with you
monkey
on this
wrench.
one.
I'm on
Let's
Atkins.
see what
I
we
can't
got.
have bread.
I'll go with you on this one.
Find your right foot on a green.
Oh, this is nice, God. This is like a vacation.
But I can't have my foot on another.
Oh, you're showing off.
I can't put my
No,
foot
yeah,
on.
you're right. It's your right foot.
I have
Yeah,
to
you,
st-
you can put it over there. You don't. You're
Oh,
not-
I can. Okay.
That was
I thought I had
odd.
to stay over there.
No, God wants you to have it easy on this
Okay,
round. So
yeah.
thank you, God. You really are a good God all the time a good God.
I
I think
try.
that's what you're supposed to
Like
say.
the Red
Yeah.
Sea is.
Amen.
Yes.
My next
amen.
principle for you, should you be ready,
We're always ready for you, God.
comes from the book of
We'll make
Deuteronomy
time.
7, verse 15.
Okay, going to Old Testament on our ass again.
God takes all sickness away from you, and the
Okay.
Lord will take all sickness and will afflict you with none of the terrible diseases of Egypt, which you have known, but
Which were bad.
will lay them on all those who hate you.
Oh,
Ooh,
goodness,
it
that
got
is a
away
long
from
list,
me on
God.
the people
let's
that
see
hate. I
where
like
you
that.
may
That is a
lay
long
your
list.
next body part.
Okay.
Your right hand shall go to a red.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
boy. Okay, so now.
Shit's getting real around
Now
here.
it is right hand to red.
Dang, I almost
Okay.
lost it.
Good balance.
It's okay, God. So far I'm not going to fall over. I don't think.
The mat's
Beautiful.
I'm praying to you right now that I'm not going to fall over.
Send that coal to Egypt.
All right,
I
God.
don't want it.
What is the next principle here?
Obey all God's commandments
course,
and
I should have
receive
known
his
that was coming.
blessings.
Of course.
Bring all the tithes into the storehouse.
You want my money? Okay.
Storehouse.
Yes,
Give me money.
that there may be food in my house.
Okay.
And try me now in this,
I'll give you some money.
says the Lord of hosts.
I will give you some money. What is the next step here, God?
If I will not open
Oh, he's not
for
done
you
yet.
the windows of heaven
The long
and pour
one,
out
God.
for you such blessings that there will not be room enough to receive it.
Okay, that
Well,
sounds
let's
very
see
good.
if there's room enough for your next body part to be
Okay.
received.
What is it, God?
Find
I'll
your
give you
left
my
foot
money.
on a green.
Okay. All right,
This
that's
is
not-
it for me.
That's not too bad.
I'm done. I
you're
can't
done?
even. I can't even do it. Look, left foot green. I'll be in trouble. Here.
Oh, he's done.
I'm done.
All right. Okay, Mike has he's only fallen one time. You still need to feel shamed and condemned,
Yes.
even though it's been one time.
Where's a Bible? I'll hit you
However,
with a
you
Bible.
only have to do a random act of kindness because you've only had one
I
fall.
can pass a nice hug to a little.
Very nice.
Made my
Yeah,
day
God,
better.
you gave me one I couldn't even attempt. There's
Right,
something to
I
that,
know.
right? I couldn't even
See,
try
that's
it.
what I was talking about. I give hugs and they're not reciprocated. All right. Very good. All right, God. Well, so far you've knocked out the two guys.
Yeah.
Does this mean you favor women?
Yes.
Well, they are more flexible.
All right. Well, So far, so good. All right, God, I just feel like there's more you could be telling us about how to be healed. We really want healing. I mean, we've got individual things. We talked about this
Well,
at the
I
beginning
will
of the show
tell
that we
you,
want to be healed of.
one of God's benefits is healing.
Okay.
Bless the Lord, O my soul.
Okay.
And all that is within me, bless his holy name. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits.
Okay.
Who forgives all your iniquities?
Okay.
Who heals all your diseases? Who redeems your life from destruction? Who crowns you with loving kindness and tender mercies?
That's a
Who
good one.
satisfies your mouth with good things so that your youth is renewed like the eagles?
I feel young like an eagle.
Well, let's see if you
Fly
can
like an
feel
eagle.
where you gotta put your foot.
I'm not like one of the bald eagles that are really old and ancient. I'm like a young eagle. So
All
what is
right.
it?
Place thy right foot upon a blue.
Oh, well, that's not bad, God. I can deal with that.
Yeah. It always starts off.
I really want to see if there is a gender equality with God, if the female is going to fall
Well, yeah,
too.
she needs it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to know. Is there
No.
gender equality, God?
She needs to fall down. We've fallen.
Well, that was an easy one, God. What is the next one?
Well, God's word is healing.
Oh,
He sent
okay.
his word and healed them and delivered them from their destructions.
All right.
Let's see where you can deliver your next body part.
Oh,
I like
good.
Richard. Yeah, he's good. Good commentary.
He's
He
a
used to be
good
a
guy.
game show host.
No, it's not Richard Thomas. It's God. You forgot who you were speaking to.
Let thou place thy right hand upon the yellow.
Upon the what?
Yellow.
Oh, I thought you said upon each other. Okay.
Well, hey.
See, that would be another way to heal. All right, that's not too bad, God.
Yep.
Are you going to be all right with that one?
Yeah, I'm
All right,
good.
Okay, good. All right.
I'm not gonna fall.
Yeah, we'll
Going
see.
down.
Because I'm perfect.
Okay, so far
Yeah.
she is, though. We can't condemn her if she's been perfect.
Yeah.
That
Very
is
true. Very true.
All right,
And now
God.
from Psalms 118,
Oh,
verse
good. It's a
17.
poem. All right.
God wants you to live. Now, I shall not die, but
Okay.
live,
Yeah.
and declare the works
Depends on
of
the
the
day.
Lord. And let's see. I shall declare to you to place thy left hand upon a red.
Oh, okay. All right.
Good for you. Get up
I just
under
gotta,
there.
I just got to get. Oh my God.
Getting hard on Alyssa.
It is. It's getting hard on me too. Okay. I can fail you right
I
now.
will make
though.
this shorter on you.
right.
Choose to live. Be a fighter. I
Ah.
call heaven and earth as witness today against you
Yeah.
that I have set before you life and death,
Okay.
blessing and cursing. Therefore, choose life that both you and your
All right,
descendants
God.
may live.
All right, God. We get
And
the
let's
point.
find out where we're going to place the next body
Yes,
part.
please, God.
I foresee Curtis going down.
Oh shit. You know.
Place thy right foot upon a blue.
Right foot is on
It
a
is.
blue,
Well, then
God.
you're safe. You
I
don't
thought
have
you
to
knew all
move.
things.
Mine's on
You don't
blue.
have to move.
We're all on blue.
Again, God.
All right,
God.
I'll flip you again. Let's see.
I thought you knew all things.
Ah.
Our feet are on the blue.
However, I wasn't looking. Place your right foot
He says
on
you
a
look
red.
a right foot on. Oh,
Oh,
shit.
boy.
Okay. I got to see if I can do this.
See,
Oh,
he
so far,
picked
yeah,
up his
still
hand.
good.
That
Should be God, but there is grace and mercy, is there not?
Alyssa
I'm
looks
all
like
about me. I'm
Well, I
not
will
gonna
tell
fall.
Like a
you
floor
will live
gymnast.
a long life.
No, God
Long
damn it!
life.
I don't want to live a long life.
Yes, and show him my salvation.
Okay, I'll
well,
take
let me
that.
see where I'm going to show your next
I've
body
already
part
got
to
that.
fall to.
Okay.
Well, left hand on a blue.
Okay, left. I forgot which is my left hand. All right, there we go. All right.
Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know.
Hold the L up.
All
This-
right.
All right, God, we're doing
Next.
okay.
Jesus bore your sins and your sickness, but he was wounded for your transgressions.
Thank you, God. I appreciate that.
He was bruised for your iniquities.
Yep.
And
I
the
saw the movie.
chastisement for our peace was upon him, and by his stripes we are healed.
I saw the movie. It was a good one.
Yes.
Mel Gibson.
Now let us see. Find your right hand on a blue
Okay,
circle.
that I can deal with, God.
Whoops, sorry. Missed a foot.
Everybody else.
Man, Alyssa, you've been stuck in that position.
Yeah, you have been. Oh my goodness. Okay.
I played first base, so it's
Okay.
good.
All right.
All right. Next, God will restore your health.
Good.
I will restore health to you and heal you of your wounds, because
Oh.
they called you an outcast, saying, "This is Zion. No one seeks her."
Don't fuck with Zion.
Don't fuck with them.
That's right.
All right, let's see here.
I don't even know what
Find
that
your
means.
right foot on a yellow now.
Okay. I think I can do that, God.
No picking up of previously placed body parts except that which is designated.
God, I may have a problem here. All right. Oh, you know what, God? I think I'm gonna fall down again.
Should I just fall over?
No, I'm gonna.
Backslider, backslider.
Hey, that's intentional grounding.
No. That was.
I tell you, we learned about
That was
Alyssa.
genuine.
Alyssa's
Okay, so God,
competitive.
here's the deal. On
Yes.
the second time that I fail, I fall down. I now have to confess something
Yes, to all of
on
them.
air.
Truth or dare.
Okay. And my confession is, I've always thought Brad Pitt was extremely attractive. All right? So that's my confession. All right, so I got it off my chest.
He's used to that.
I still feel shamed, and now I'm feeling some homophobic shame here too. Of course,
Brad's used to
for
it.
saying that, but shame and condemnation is upon me. I've fallen 2 times.
You can't come back
Does
to the
God
church.
have the 3 strikes rule? If it's 3 strikes, you are out. Is that how that works?
Oh, I don't know. I thought I was going to put you in a... Oh, I can't remember. It was so long ago that the punishment thing where they put you in like this.
Oh, yes. Okay, the stockade.
Stockade.
All right, well, God, let's give this another try. I really do want redemption, and God damn it, I want healing. So if I can win one of these, I don't know.
I will tell you from the book of Matthew 18.
Okay.
Verse 18.
All right.
You can take authority over the sickness in your body. Now, assuredly, I say to you, whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you lose on earth will be loosed in heaven.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
even understand that.
I don't either, but that doesn't matter. When God says something, you just go with it.
I'm
you
just
don't
listening for the
you don't
demands
question it.
here.
All right. So what do we have?
Well, we're going to have our right foot upon it red.
Okay, I can deal with that, God, and I really can't lose again because
I don't know what
3
happened.
strikes and I am out, literally.
Alyssa does not want to lose.
Thrown out of the church or the organization, right?
I don't want to look bad.
No. So far, you're looking better than both of us combined.
I'm sweating.
Ah, but you haven't fell yet.
No.
All right. That's the key. That's the key in religion, as long as you don't fall.
Yeah.
From the book of Matthew 18.
Okay, heard of it.
Verse 19.
Yep.
Agree with someone for your healing. Again, I say to you that if 2 of you agree on earth concerning anything that they ask, it will be done for them by my Father in heaven.
Well, you've already got Chris in your corner, so that's 2 for
Chris
you.
and the video.
Yeah. Okay. And she's
I
doing
have
well.
a left hand upon a red.
I can deal with that, God. All right.
Looks like we're all lined up.
Okay. We are lined with the red.
All right.
Okay.
The book of Mark, chapter 11,
All right,
verse
God.
22 through 23.
Yes, hopefully not both verses.
What you say will make a difference. So Jesus answered to them and said, have faith in God. For assuredly I say to you, whoever says to this mountain, be removed and be cast into the sea,
I think
and
Anne
does
Graham
not
Lotz
doubt
said that,
in his
didn't
heart,
she?
Yep.
but believes in those things he says they will be done. He
All right.
will have whatever he says.
All right, God. Well, we talk a good game on the show. So what's the next command?
The next command is to put your left foot on a green.
Left foot.
That's
upon the green.
Ooh.
Done down. Time number 2.
Oh, if you would have let me go first.
Can you do it?
If
Well,
you just would have waited, I would have
Can you do it? You might both have to go down.
I'm going down.
Oh wow, God.
So
I actually won.
You did.
Okay, so Mike, this is your second, which means we'll let you go second because
Let me
you
think
gotta
of
do
the
a
let me
confession,
think of a confession.
You,
up here.
on the other hand, you should feel shamed right now and condemned because you did fall down. You have to do a random act of kindness, so whatever that is. And then Mike, you're next. You got to do a confession. This is your second.
Mike,
Oh, see.
I'm sweaty. Come here. It's
There
so
you go.
kind.
Nice sweaty hug.
I'm getting lots of hugs.
You're getting
Very
lots of
nice. Very nice. Okay, so
confession time.
the act of kindness has been completed, and now it is Mike's confession on camera. He has fallen 2 times now.
I was at Panera writing the other day with Wi-Fi, and I did not have money on me, and I had the plastic water cup.
Yeah.
And I did take a little bit of soda.
I'm going to pretend like I didn't even hear that one, but of course God hears all things.
He probably
I
saw
hope that
it.
He has absolved you of your sin. Okay. That is not
It
good.
wasn't only
Taking-
one. And I thought about getting a second cup, and I said I probably shouldn't push it.
Oh yeah. Well, taking from the capitalists is a very serious offense before God. That
Oh,
is
by the
very
way, I
true.
wrote a joke once where in that situation, no refills. They keep like a undercover undercover
Right.
loss control guy. And, hey,
Right.
you already had us. Hey,
Nice.
That was funny.
All right, so I won that one, which technically means you do need to sing my praise because we didn't have a winner before.
How would we do that?
Just something you'd like to praise me for. You don't
Oh,
have
how's
to-
that Lutheran?
You could sing it.
How's
Oh,
that
the
Lutheran thing?
man.
Kurt is such a great host guy and CEO.
Oh, good.
He
Thank
comes
you.
up with such imaginative shows.
Nice.
I'm like a
All
show
right,
guy
I think
now.
that's-
I turned into a show guy.
God, do we have time for one more, or are we running out of?
Sure we
Okay,
do.
one more.
Going
Are we good
around-
for one more?
remember-
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
1,000 years is just a blink in my eye.
Yes, we know, and it seems like it's going a long time this hour.
Well, I
Okay,
will tell you, my
it's a lot of
next
blinks.
little hint to you about
You're
believe
telling
and
me,
you
I'm
will
waiting.
receive. Therefore I say to you,
Simple enough.
whatever things you ask when you pray, believe that you will receive them and you will have them.
Faith.
Okay. All right.
Pretty simple faith.
Sure enough.
Faith.
What do we have,
Now
God?
let's faithfully place our right hands on a blue.
All right, that I can deal with.
I'm going.
I wonder if I should box myself in already. Okay.
Yeah, you have to. There, you actually do start to form a strategy of where you're going
do.
to.
All right,
it's
God.
more complicated than it looks.
God,
It's not
that-
chess.
It is. I know. It's true.
Now,
All right, God.
next little hint here
I'd
is
like a second
plead
win
your
here.
case to God.
Okay.
Even
I am right now.
am he who blots out your transgressions for my own sake.
Okay.
For
It
his
says,
own.
now
That's
I
cool.
will not remember your sins. Put me in remembrance. Let us contend together. State your case, that you may be acquitted. So tell me what's wrong so I can actually help you with it.
Very nice.
And we'll forget
Thank
about
you,
it.
God.
Sword.
Thank you.
All
I
right,
appreciate
next move
that.
is to place
My
your
left
right
is-
hand, which is already upon
Yeah.
a blue. So
Yes.
let's see what else we got.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well,
You already knew that. Just
Yeah.
so you know.
all right.
You did.
Well, I guess, nope, that's in the middle.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wait ye for my word. Place your right hand on a red now.
Okay, God, that
Now
was
make up your mind.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I like how you said that. We'll go over it. We'll
yeah, you're released now. You can come over on this
we'll
side.
go
if you
over
want.
it.
I don't
We'll
know why
forget
I'm-
about it.
I don't know why I'm helping you. In religion,
like
I should
us.
never
Like,
help you.
I don't remember a verse ever with us
In
in
religion, you never ever help somebody.
No,
Okay.
you judge.
Us.
You
I've
just
never-
judge. Yeah, I
Us.
judge from a distance. You should have
All
stayed over
right.
there.
Distance.
You should have stayed over there.
The next
All right.
comes from Mark chapter 16, verse
Okay.
17, 18.
I like
a good
Mark.
one.
He's
That's a
to
good
the
one.
point.
Now, have someone lay hands on you for healing.
I
and
can't.
These
One of my
signs
hands is down right now.
will follow those who believe. Now, in my name, they will cast out demons. They will speak with new tongues. They will take up serpents. And if they drink anything deadly, it will by no means hurt them. They will lay hands on the sick, and the sick will recover.
Well, I cast out a couple demons in divorce court, God. Does that count?
Well,
All right.
I'll tell you what will count.
Okay.
Just cast, well, hey, you just already casted it on a red. Well, let's see what else I got you here.
Sure, you have
Let's
something.
cast a left foot upon a blue.
Left foot on blue. Okay, God. I think I can do that.
Thanks, God.
All right.
Oh, I can't do
Everybody's
that.
still in the game, God.
Completely cheating over here.
All right.
That's okay.
From John chapter 9, verse 31, worship
Yes.
God. Now we know that God does not hear sinners, but if anyone is a worshiper of God and does his will, he hears him.
Oh, okay. That's good. I like to be heard.
In other words, if you do what I say, I'll listen to what
I
you
know.
gotta
I like to
say.
be heard, God. I got it the first time.
All right, let's place our right foot on a red.
Oh shit!
I'm gonna try.
Somebody
I'm
God,
gonna try
I
it.
hate, I hate to use. I hate to use bad language, God, but
my balls. Ouch, my balls. By the way.
oh boy,
Ouch, his
If you
balls.
Oh, that's gonna be interesting.
I did it.
You
I'm
did
there.
it!
Thanks, God. This
I'm there,
hurts.
God.
Thanks, God. This
I'm
hurts.
like quivering right now, but go ahead.
I'm just.
But now I will tell you, in the book of John, chapter 10, verse 10, the devil wants to kill you.
Yeah, I know.
Whoa.
He's trying to kill me right now.
God wants to heal you.
Okay.
The thief does not come except to steal and to kill and to destroy.
Too many pauses, God. What's the
Well,
next command?
I have come that they may have life and they may have it more abundantly.
Good, God. So
All
what is
right.
next?
Well, let's see what you can have. Well, no,
I'm
can't have
going
that.
to be going out, God. So just get
Can't
it over
have
with.
that.
I'm going to be going out.
Ah, put your left hand on a yellow.
God. Okay. That one I
I'm
can
giving
do.
you one more move.
I can do that one.
All right, now from the book of Galatians,
this
chapter
is bad.
3, 13, 14.
It's our favorite. It's
verses.
Galatians,
This is
guys.
bad.
Yes. You are
Galatians.
redeemed from the curse. Christ has redeemed us from the curse of the law.
I still feel cursed.
Having become a curse for us, for it is written, cursed is everyone who hangs on a tree.
Oh,
Curse,
my.
curse, curse.
Yeah.
That the blessings
Marsha,
of
Marsha,
Abraham
Marsha.
might come upon the Gentiles in Christ Jesus, that we may receive the promise of the Spirit through faith.
Okay, God. So what's your point? What's the next command?
Well, let's see if I'm going to point at. Right foot on a blue.
Oh my gosh.
God made it easier on me.
Did he?
I fell.
Oh, okay.
I give up.
For the first time,
Is that the
we
first time?
have-
That's the second time.
That's the second time you did
So
already.
that unfortunately means that you have to do a confession.
Confession.
The second
Uh-oh.
time, and in the midst of all that, you are of course shamed and condemned for falling 2 times, not once, but twice.
We all fell twice.
It doesn't matter because if you're hypocritical in religion, you pretend like you never have fallen. and
I
you
haven't. Oh,
accuse-
yeah.
and you accuse
The
the
most
person
recent.
who's fallen. The most recent failure is the
We're
attention.
righteous.
Right, that's right. That's right. There's no proof other than that camera and the archives that we ever fell. So,
confession.
Here it is.
I'm getting.
Can it be anything about Mark Wahlberg? I don't know. Got it?
Anyway, I'm getting.
he's so muscular.
Yeah, no. I'm getting. I'm not paying for Earthlink.
Oh
You're
my
Even
goodness.
though I ordered it,
Another
Comcast
violation
came
of
in and they were
capitalism.
better, and I still haven't called them back because I can't even understand what they're saying anyway on the
there's
phone.
there's a caveat.
But that's
there.
still another violation against capitalists,
Yes.
which I think is one of the worst offenses against God.
Yes.
I do believe that.
Yes.
All right, well, we're going to sum this thing up
stealing.
as if it can be summed up. We're going to sum this up in just a couple moments here. Let's go to break so we can jump in front of the fan for one thing.
Yeah. And stop quivering.
It's Florida.
That's right. I know. Exactly. All right,
I'm
God.
not the only
Take
one
us
who
to break, God. Get us out
Take
of
us
here.
away.
Get us out of here.
Where
Bring a
is my
cloud
freaking
down or
mouth?
something.
All right.
That was fun. That was
I'm
funny.
not the only one who quivers. That makes me feel a little better.
That's a good idea.
You know blow my mind.
Well, we are very much used to having headphones on our
Look,
ears.
I have
It's
legs.
kind of, it's weird being in a different interface with you right now. But we are in the last section of the show. We did talk earlier before our Twisted game, where I lost profusely. But we talked about, is there anything that we actually want healed in our own lives? And I asked everyone to kind of think about, what would that be if you could have something healed today? We had Chris in here, we had Brian on the phone. We've had a lot of different perspective. We saw a miracle happening on the video screen before us, at least one that we all stipulated.
Talking about an emotional healing,
or
not
any,
a physical?
any kind of healing. If there is any kind of healing, kind of stepping away from the game now, but if there is any kind of healing that you would ask for today, what would that be?
Want me to lead off?
And I'll be happy to start. It's not what you'd think. I mean, I deal with a lot of mental anguish and depression, and I literally deal with suicidal thinking almost every day, as you know, anyone that's been watching. However, that's not what I would ask for. I would ask that this dream right here in this place would be made real for everybody that's involved with this organization, myself included, of course. I'm not a martyr. I'm not hanging on the here.
You want to live in
I also
under a roof too.
Yeah, there's 3 crosses. So.
Yes, there'd be the 3 crosses.
Good, well put.
You'd be the Christ.
Well
You're
played.
in the middle. I think I'm the thief on the right-hand side.
Scarecrow? I don't know.
Yeah.
Crow?
That is
Crow?
that would be the healing that I would ask for this organization, because I know that all of us have our own personal issues and things that we're going through, our struggles, and because and this is not because Kurt is so great, that's not what I'm saying, but it's because I care very deeply about every one of you, everybody in our organization, that I just would like to see redemption. I'd like that redemption to come through this dream to be in Shock Therapy Radio and throughout, the rest of our office here in our lives. So, I mean, I don't know if that sounds quaint, but that's really, honestly, I wouldn't even set aside all the other shit, all the other, dark thinking. I wouldn't set that aside. I've handled that okay. Could take me out at any time, let's be honest. I mean, Robin Williams probably wasn't planning on committing suicide either. And he's very famous.
Yeah.
So it could, realistically though, it could take a person out at any time.
Heath Ledger, so young.
Yes.
And had everything.
But I'm not even asking for that, and I really don't even want that, because I'm getting through, and I know that I would be good on the other side. But what I care deeply about is the earthly experience, for the people in this organization. So that being said, what other kinds of things, or just one thing that you'd want to have healed, if Chris really was able to heal you today, what would you be asking for?
Alyssa, would you like to go, or would you prefer I go?
No. I would like to not quit this organization. I'm not planning on quitting, but it seems like my whole life I just end up giving up because I'm not doing it perfect.
Okay, so you beat yourself up about that, and
he nailed that.
Chris nailed that one.
He did.
He said that you're very tough on yourself.
Yeah.
And you have
I don't know him.
You remember what he said? He said you have a lot of rules, and they're not universal rules. The rules that you put on yourself.
Yeah.
Did that come from religion, or where did that come from, or just in general from your growing up, or what have you?
Yeah, it would be. I think it's both. I think it's religion and beliefs. Religion and beliefs.
Yeah.
Kind of how I was told this was right, this was wrong, but not from my family, because my family they really do kick ass. They're awesome.
Right.
But
But do you remember?
I almost don't want to do it at all. If I think I'm not going to do it right, because I don't mind being judged. That's not it. I don't want to be, scolded in a way.
Right. Do you remember on the phone, one of the first times I talked to you, you said that you were perfect because you're perfectly imperfect.
Yeah.
You remember saying
that?
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so if you're able to live by what you told me,
profound.
and we think you're perfect. We really do. We really do. We're not, Mike, would you agree to this? There's not been a moment that hasn't been genuine.
Agreed.
Coming from the table.
Agreed.
And in my book, genuineness is, you show up, you're genuine. That is perfection. It doesn't mean you're not going to We all make, mistakes, technical things here and there. Richard can remind us of all the technical things.
And he does, Chris.
And he does.
He thinks he's
Yes,
God.
he
He thinks
does.
he
Yeah,
got
thinks
into
he's
the
God.
part.
He
He got
really
into
does
the
think
part
he's
a
God.
little.
He
Watch
plays it
out, Heath
very
Ledger,
well.
buddy. Heath
He plays that
Ledger.
part very, very well. We can't hear him right now, so we can say whatever the fuck we want because we can't hear him talking in our ears right now. But nevertheless, you really are.
Yes, but I hear you.
Oh, there he is.
Of course you do.
You can never escape God. That
No,
is
he
true.
sees everything.
It's very true. But anyways, that being said, you did say perfectly imperfect, and for everything that we've witnessed here, just your genuineness showing up every day, you are perfect. Mike, what is
Agreed.
yours?
And to back that up, and I had told Kurt this after maybe show 2 or 3, and I'd emailed you, and I didn't have anything against you, but I didn't know, I didn't see it quite intellectually where it was going to be, but I said you did make, as the show went, I said you made the perfect pick, and I emailed you and told you that, because I just do things like that. If it's true, I don't bask a lot of bullshit compliments on people, then it doesn't matter when you have something that's really true and you want to say.
Yeah.
And
So-
what if the wild card is that Christ through me actually is the one that had selected either one of you?
That's sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, because
So
you
what is-
run your show that way.
Absolutely, that's right. I run the whole organization.
I feel like I'm on the Actor Studio now, so I'd
My
like to
life
talk
that
about.
way. Yes.
Yes, James.
So what kind of healing, Mike?
I'm sure I'd have to sit and think there. I'm at a similar junk, even though I'm a little bit older than you. We have a similar. It's interesting. We have a similar background. We've tried a lot of things. We've gone a lot of places. I've gotten really close with a lot of things. The main current in my life is to really get published and sell books like a real, the real deal. But with that said, I came across a book in the library when I was leaving the other day called The Ultimate Checklist. Have you ever heard of that?
I've not.
For men, it's basically spiritual principles for men.
Okay.
And it's religious. I mean, it's
So 40
spiritual
principles
for
to-
God. And it's a whole book, but it does have one where it says when you get your financial world in order, everything else is going to follow. Stewardship. So I've been a risk taker. I was in the brokerage industry, and I've been striving as I've gotten older to be more composed, leave the wild artist days behind, which they mostly are.
Right, yeah.
Less impulsive, more steady, and success-driven and established.
Okay.
So yeah, that would be something that I'm driving at. As far as any, I think things that you'd really want to clear up in your own life. Probably maybe to be. I'm a little bit of distrustful of people. Probably. Okay. I'm not the open guy. I'm not gonna hug my way up and down this sidewalk.
Right.
So that's probably something in myself I could probably. Pray
So
to.
maybe
my general
the,
shyness, probably, it's just my nature.
Okay.
General set away from
Or
people.
skepticism, you said too. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm very good with people I like.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just have it. It's good. It seems that the circle's gotten tighter and tighter, but I don't think that's a way to live, really.
Yeah.
Because it's still a big world out there.
I think that kind of healing is what we really all want, and that was mine too. Is that my dream would come true? That is the healing of the soul, really, because it's not even the physical or the emotional, which I've been able to, struggle through and get to this point. It is the picture all coming together.
Right.
It's the idea that you mattered while you were here, for me at least, and that the legacy that you left was one that was articulated and one that was beneficial, to other people. And if you get that writing done, I have no doubt that that'll be the effect on the readers of that, or a film if that's what you produce. So we've covered a lot of territory today, a hell of a lot of territory. I was called an ass by one of our listeners. Thank you, Rich Kaiser, but he's right at that point in my life. Covered a lot of territory. Talked to Brian, talked to Chris. What a gracious man Chris was coming in here and sharing his skill set and his gifts. All that to end up falling on the ground and poking satire at how religion treats you as you're trying to get healed. It's always a clusterfuck. You always end up falling down. You always end up feeling shamed and condemned. So, but that's not what we're talking about in this last segment. We're talking about genuineness. We're talking about what we really want from God. And I'll end it off and just say that in the name of Christ, may all these things come about. So, thanks for listening today. We appreciate your following us on a very different kind of format today. We'll be back tomorrow to end out the week on a variety note, I think. So.
Give Twister a try. It's fun.
Yeah, Twister is fun. Thanks for listening.
What?
What in the hell is going on here?
Shock Therapy Radio.